23-year-old medical assistant Lisa Espinoza is suing her ex-boyfriend, 29-year-old mechanic Juan Ruiz, for unpaid credit card bills, the return of personal belongings, and emotional distress.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 151 on the calendar in the matter of Espinoza versus Ruiz. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Ms. Espinoza, according to what I've read, you and the defendant were in a long-term relationship, and you have a child together. How old is your child?
She's going to be 6 on Sunday.
And you lived together for a period of time?
Yeah.
You claim that he owes you his portion of a credit card bill.
Mm-hmm.
He has some of your personal property from when the two of you separated, and that was almost a year ago.
Yeah.
You also want a whole bunch of money for emotional distress.
Mm-hmm.
It was a year ago, September, that you separated. Is that right?
It was a while, like in December.
December 2001.
You separated in December of 2001.
I tried to hold on, and I did things for her.
You separated in December of 2001. When was this credit card bill amassed?
I got it back in '99 when we were together, and I didn't use it for a while, maybe almost a year, and then we were short of money because...
Ms. Espinoza, let me cut to the chase, madam.
Okay.
Were all of the bills on the credit card amassed by December of 2001?
Yes.
We are now in 2003. So what I want you to tell me is, where have you been for 2 years?
I've been asking him to help me pay it, and he's been agreeing to help me pay it also.
But he hasn't for 2 years, is that right?
That's right.
Now, tell me about the property that you left behind, Ms. Espinoza.
When I was going to leave him, he did not want me to leave, so he held me down on the bed and told me I was never going to leave him and that it was never going to happen. I then told him I had to convince him to let me leave. He then tried to tell me that I could leave, but without my daughter. If I took my stuff, I couldn't take my daughter. So I decided to try to convince him that I was going to come back, but I just needed some space. I needed some time to get everything that I wanted to do in my life together, because I wasn't...
Good. All right, now I'm getting into this sounds like a soap opera, and I'm not interested in a soap opera. What property did you leave behind?
I had shoes I hadn't even worn. I had all my clothes there. I had all my my schooling papers. I had a lot of pictures of me and my family, of my daughter that I had.
So you're talking about shoes and pictures and papers?
And I also had a lot of stuff, sentimental value stuff that my mom had given to me because she's passed on.
Ms. Espinoza, what do you want back after 2 years, madam?
Well, I know he doesn't have none of my stuff.
So if he doesn't have any of your stuff, what do you want me to do?
I just want something in return for it, because I feel that all this stuff to me was taken away from me.
And you should... Was taken away. Try taken away. Then you should have pursued this case in 2001.
I know,
I don't know what you wait for 2 years for and then say, well, I can't get my papers back and I can't get my pictures back, but I want him to financially compensate me.
Because I was trying to be a nice person. And
then why are you bothering the courts now?
Because he has not been nice to me at all, and I feel like...
He hasn't been nice to you because that's what happens when people separate. Sometimes they're not nice to each other. Now, I'm giving you 30 seconds about your emotional distress. You got 30 seconds. Tell me about your emotional distress.
When I first met him, I was 16. He was 22. We met each other, and we got together, and I got pregnant, like, almost immediately. When I first
and whose fault was that?
It was both of our faults.
Good. So,
yeah.
Let's go.
And when I told him that I was pregnant, he told me no, he didn't care. He didn't want nothing to do with me. And
is that the emotional distress you're talking about? Well, get to the emotional distress you're talking about, Miss Espinoza.
For 6 years, he put me through everything. I was not allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to get a job. I wasn't allowed to basically walk out of the house unless I asked him for permission.
So, how do you think the courts compensate one for that?
I've just been through so much. I haven't been able to do nothing.
So, whose fault is that?
It's my fault. That's
good. Perfect. That's taken care of. It's your fault. It's your fault because just as you walked in the door, you walk out of the door.
Exactly. That's why I'm here right now. Because I don't want to let him get away with this. He's gotten away with a lot of things.
Miss Espinoza, I don't know what you're fabricating in your mind. What do you mean, let him get away with what?
With taking my property and not being able to pay for it. I didn't take nothing of his.
Listen to me. If in December of 2001, you went into small claims court or you went to the police and said, I have to get back into my apartment because I have my clothes and my shoes there and my pictures. They would have taken you. You would have gotten your shoes. You would have gotten your pictures. You would have gotten your papers. Finished. You cannot wait 2 years and say to somebody, now after 2 years, I want to be compensated because I know you don't have my pictures and papers anymore, but because I didn't pursue my rights immediately, now you have to pay the consequences. Do you understand? There comes a time when you have to take responsibility for yourself.
Yes, I understand that.
Good. Now, Mr. Ruiz says that he left you an engagement ring. Is that true?
No, I lost it when we were together.
That's what she says. I don't believe nothing what she told me in the past.
He was with me when I lost it.
Well, tell me where you lost it.
He was taking me to work. I had it on my lap while I was putting lotion on. When I got out of the car, I forgot that I had it on my lap.
When was it?
It was after we separated, maybe like 5 months after we separated.
So you lost it after you separated?
Yes.
Why didn't you give it back to him when you separated?
He proposed to me after I left him, and I told him I didn't want it. I told him to keep it until I said yes. He told me no, to keep it even if I said no.
Is that right?
No, that's not true, Your Honor.
That doesn't sound right to me. Did you ask for it back?
The thing is, she just led me on. We're going to be together, and that's it. She just used me, pretty much. You know, if she didn't really want it.
So the answer is you did not ask for it back?
Yeah, I told her after we split up, yes, I want it back.
When did you tell her you wanted it back?
I probably told her this probably like in November. I want whatever.
November of what?
2002.
So a year later?
Like I said, she spent time. She stayed with me here and there, but it was just being...
So in November you said you wanted the ring back?
Yeah. She said she lost it. You know, like I said, I don't believe nothing.
She said she lost it?
Yeah, that's what she said. I don't know what she did with it.
Can I see the credit card bill that you had from December 2001? Mr. Ruiz says that the reason you are pursuing this now is because you recently lost a custody case involving your daughter. Is that true?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Stop being a victim. Be a grown-up. You have a 6-year-old child.
Your Honor, every time we go to court, she doesn't have her story straight.
I have her story straight.
And later today...
Did anything happen before the engine seized?
The oil light came on, possibly. I didn't see it. I wasn't driving.
Colleen, let's not play games with each other so that way you won't be embarrassed.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Lisa Espinoza says ex-boyfriend Juan Ruiz owes for credit card bills, the return of property, and emotional distress. Juan says Lisa still has the engagement ring.
Listen to me, Miss Espinoza. I want you to tell me about the custody case.
And this past year, I filed for child custody and for child support because he wasn't helping me financially. I was working 65 hours a week
just a
to
second.
take care of my
Where
daughter.
was the baby staying?
With me the whole time.
All the time?
Yes.
Not spending time with her father?
She would once in a while when we would go see him. Only when we were together, but he didn't have her by herself.
Then you had a hearing before a judge.
Yes.
What was the outcome of the hearing before the family court judge?
The judge told me that I worked too much, that because...
Can I see a copy of the order? Do you have a copy of the
I
custody
just
order?
had the mediation. What
Can I
was
see it?
agreed on.
What you agreed on?
It was originally ordered I had my daughter 60-40, 4 days and her 3 days. But she was crying and everything, and, you know, I want to do this for my daughter, so I agreed to give her 50% of time in mediation.
Let me see. Was the original order 60-40? That he had the child 4 days a week and you had the child 3 days a week?
Because of my...
I don't care what it was before. I'm asking you. I can't go into what it was because of. What I'm asking you is, was that the original order?
Yes, it was.
So he had the child 60%, you had 40%, and then you went to mediation that was just resolved. And the parties shared joint legal and physical custody. So now you each have the child 50% of the time. Is that what you wanted?
No, that's not what I wanted.
Well, that's why Mr. Ruiz says that you're pursuing these matters after 2 years.
The reason why I'm pursuing this case is because the judge told me that we weren't married, so I wasn't able to get none of my belongings back.
I'm not interested in your belongings. Do you understand? And don't tell me that you couldn't have gotten any of your belongings out. You could have gotten your belongings out with a police officer. If the shoes didn't fit him, the police would have given you your shoes back. Do you understand?
Your Honor.
And if you had personal papers, the police would have given you your personal papers back if you went back into the house. You chose not to do that 2 years ago.
No, because I didn't want my daughter seeing the cops doing nothing to him. There's plenty of times that the cops that came to the house when
Madam,
he thrown me around.
Listen to me very carefully. I don't believe what you're saying to me. Because from December 2001, when you say you left, up until 2002 in November, according to both of you, you did sort of see each other off and on.
And that's why I left him for sure.
So that you could have gotten your shoes and your personal papers. You had plenty of time to do that. Stop being a victim. Okay? Be a grown-up. You have a 6-year-old child.
Your Honor, she said that she had emotional distress and pain and suffering since 2002. Every time we go to court, she doesn't have her story straight.
I have her story straight. Tell me about the ring that you gave her, Mr. Ruiz.
Yes.
Tell me when you gave it to her. Under what circumstances?
I gave it to her on Christmas Eve, I believe.
What year?
2001.
You said you broke up Christmas 2001.
Yeah, we did.
So how come you gave her the ring Christmas Eve?
Well, I don't know. I was dumb. I was, straight up.
Well, what did you say to her when you gave her the ring Christmas Eve 2001?
I asked her to marry me.
And what did she say to you?
She said yes. She goes, right now I need some space because her mom was sick, this and that. Okay, whatever. She said, but she does want to marry me. That's what she told me.
What did you use this credit card for?
Every time we needed money together, we would just pull it out of the ATM, just money straight out.
So you used it for joint bills?
Yes.
Good. I want you to tell me about the agreement that he made, if any, to pay you back for this. Did he say he was going to pay you back, and when?
Yes, he told me all the time.
Tell me when he agreed to pay you back.
Right when before we'd go get the money out, he would tell me that he was going to pay it off because I was not allowed to work, I was not allowed to get a job, so there was no way for me to pay it.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you that if you're living together and you have a child, that each time you would go and get money out of an ATM, he would say to you, I am going to pay back this amount because you're not working, because I don't want you to work, and I'm working, so each time we go, I'm going to pay you back.
Yes, he did say this.
I don't believe you, Miss Espinosa.
I'm telling the truth. I know I was right there, and that's what he was.
I don't believe you. In any event, I suggest you go find the engagement ring and sell it. Maybe that'll help pay off the bill. Listen to me, madam. You have to put a period. Just because one lawsuit didn't turn out the way you wanted it to 2 years later. I don't buy it, Miss Espinosa. I'm sorry. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's just very controlling. He's very manipulating.
I'm happy.
For 6 years, I was 16. I didn't know what I was doing.
All I gotta do is tell the truth, and that's what happens.
He started throwing me around. He slammed my leg in the door.
You know, I pushed her around before, but I never hit her or nothing like that.
Socked me. I hope he gets what he deserves.
I just hope she leaves me alone and go on with her way, and that's it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pappas versus Aldern. Step forward, please.
Mortgage broker Corliss Pappas is suing her daughter's former friend, 19-year-old student Kelly Aldern, for the cost of a new car engine. Corliss says Kelly drove the car with the oil light on.
Miss Pappas, you are the owner of an automobile. I assume this is your daughter.
Correct.
Your daughter goes to college?
Mm-hmm.
And she, without asking your permission, loaned your car to the defendant and this young lady for the purposes of making a trip. A long trip, 700 miles. The car broke down on the way home from the trip, and it is your claim that the defendant should pay for half of the cost for repairing the car. The defendant says that the car broke down and it wasn't her fault.
Correct.
Okay. You don't know what happened with the car because you weren't there. Is that right?
That is true.
And your daughter doesn't know what happened with the car because your daughter wasn't there.
That would be true.
This young lady, who was also in the car, what is your name?
Colleen.
Colleen sent you a check. Step up, Colleen. Why did you send her $800, Colleen?
I wanted to avoid conflict.
Why don't you tell me where you were going when you borrowed the car?
We were going to Iowa
From where?
from Greeley, Colorado.
How many miles is that trip?
700?
Each way?
Yes.
And the car made it there without a problem?
Yes.
What happened on the way back?
The engine seized.
Did anything happen before the engine seized? Look at me.
The oil light came on possibly a little bit before, but I didn't see it. I wasn't driving.
Colleen, let's not play games with each other so that way you won't be embarrassed. Mm-hmm. When did you find out that the oil light went on?
Right before the engine broke down, the car broke down.
And who told you the oil light went on?
Kelly was in the middle of telling me.
What did she say to you?
Basically, the oil light's on, and the car broke down right then.
How long had the oil light been on, Kelly?
It had been on for about a second or two, right before the engine seized.
Had you ever had any problems with leaking oil in the car before?
No, ma'am.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Annie Pappas.
Annie, when you had the car, did you have to put oil in the car frequently?
I put oil in, we serviced it in June, right? Correct. And we put oil in it, how long before? I'm sorry, I didn't know exactly. My dad always put oil in the car for us, so.
How old a car is this?
It's 1990.
So the car's 13 years old.
Yeah, so you do put oil in it.
And you have this car at college?
Yes, my mom gave it to me.
So, Ms. Pappas, what makes you think Miss Aldern is responsible for half of the damage to the car?
2 reasons. First of all, through the talk from these girls at the dorm, the comment was produced saying that they drove for 30 minutes with the oil light on. The second reason is that it's not a seized engine. It was an engine that actually had a rod go clear through the engine. The crankshaft also broke. The entire motor had to be replaced.
Well, what makes you think that that's Miss Aldern's fault?
I think if an oil light goes on and you drive or don't stop immediately, one would assume that you're not taking care of the car.
What if they were in the middle of a road where they didn't have a gas station?
Then pull over to the side and call for help. They ruined the engine.
How do I know whether or not the same thing might not have happened to your daughter? She doesn't know one thing from another about changing oil. She says, my dad takes care of that.
She does recognize if a light comes on, you stop.
According to Kelly, the light went on a few seconds before the engine seized.
I don't believe that. I don't.
Well, how do I know that? You weren't there.
That's true.
If your theory of the case is, Ms. Pappas, that the person driving the car, that would be Kelly, was negligent because she did not stop immediately and put oil in the car or call for help, then what is your theory with regard to Colleen being responsible? And you insisted that she give you half.
That's a valid point. However, no matter, even if you were in a brand new car and you drove 700 miles, when you stopped to purchase gasoline, you could check on the oil. I just thought people did that.
I don't check my oil every time I go into a gas station. What I'm asking you, Ms. Pappas, is why would you think Colleen would be responsible for half of your cost? She wasn't driving. She's a passenger.
I thought that she would be responsible because when she took the car from Ann, both girls said that if they broke it, they would buy the car. If any damage was created to the car under any circumstances,
oh, well, that's a different story. Did you say that?
We did make an agreement when we took the car. Annie said, if you break it, you buy it, and we did agree to that. But we...
Just a second. That's a horse of a different color. Now, Kelly, but for the fact that you agreed to take care of any damage to the car while it was in your possession, you would not be responsible. But if you said to Miss Pappas, anything that happens to the car, if we break it, we buy it, that means that you're going to take care of it.
Well, we didn't say exactly if anything happens to the car. The understanding was more...
Don't tell me what the understanding was. The words. Just the words.
Okay, the words, Annie said, you break it, you buy it, and we said, okay.
You owe her $800, my dear. You owe her $800. You wouldn't ordinarily. But if she said to you, you break it, you buy it, and you said, okay, you are guaranteeing the return of that car in the same condition that you took it in. Therefore, you owe her $800. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Police officer Steve Wagner is suing Melanie Mueller, her son, 11-year-old Brett, Cheryl Schulte, and her son, 13-year-old Christopher. Steve says the young boys vandalized 2 of his cars.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 216 on the calendar, the matter of Wagner versus Mueller Schulte. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Wagner, 2 of your cars were vandalized. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were furious. You had no idea who did it, so you decided to post a reward, a $100 reward, for information leading to the arrest and capture of the people who had vandalized your cars.
Yes, Your Honor.
Fortunately for you, somebody came forward, gave you the names of 2 people. These 2 young men. You want them to be responsible for the damage that was done to your car. I would like the parents of these 2 young men to sit down because they have absolutely nothing to do with this except if I make a judgment in Mr. Wagner's favor, and I don't want their sons to have any support. Move over. Name.
Brett.
Name.
Chris.
What grade are you in?
Going in 6th.
I'd like you to end everything that you say to me with, Your Honor.
Yes,
What grade are you in?
6th.
Your Honor.
Your Honor.
Let's try it one more time. What grade are you in?
6th, Your Honor.
That's better. And you?
7th, Your Honor.
That's good. You see, these two boys say that they were there, but somebody by the name of Tony did all the damage to your cars. We used to call that, in the family court, the Soddy principle. S-O-D-D-I. Some other dude did it. When was the damage done to your car, Mr. Wagner?
The damage done to my vehicles, Your Honor, on May 29th. The vehicles are scratched on the driver's side from the front to the back, all the way down the side.
Now, where were these cars parked?
They're parked beside my house on the street, and they're all parked in a row facing uphill. It's a very steep hill at that point.
Were any other cars damaged that day?
Yes, Your Honor.
How many?
The guesstimates from the neighborhood association said there's approximately 14 vehicles damaged that day.
May I see pictures of your cars, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you tired? Are you tired?
Yes.
That's unfortunate. Stand up and put your hands at your sides. Thank you. Okay, you posted a reward, and somebody responded.
Yes, Your Honor.
And as a result of that, you were led to these two young men. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Where were you on the night of May 29th?
Over at Brett's house, staying the night.
Brett's house?
Mm-hmm.
Had you stayed at Brett's house before?
Mm-hmm.
Who else was there?
Tony.
Had Tony stayed there before?
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you know Tony from school? Look at my eyes.
No, Your Honor.
You knew him from the neighborhood?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how old is he?
14, Your Honor.
Now, when Tony stayed at Brett's house, the night that you were there, was Brett's mother home?
Yes.
Was Brett's mother ever in the same room with Tony?
No.
She never came in to look at you or to see that you were together?
No.
What was she doing?
Sleeping, Your Honor.
You mean she was sleeping when Tony got there?
No, she was upstairs watching TV.
And she never came downstairs?
No.
When did you invite Tony to your house to stay over?
The night the damage happened, Your Honor.
Where were you when you invited him to sleep over?
In my basement, Your Honor.
What time?
I invited him at 9 o'clock, Your Honor.
9 o'clock in the morning?
9 o'clock at night.
Did he call his mother?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I assume his mother said it was okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, what did your mother say when you asked her if he could stay over?
She said yes, Your Honor.
At what time did the three of you go out to vandalize these cars?
We went out at 3 o'clock, Your Honor.
3 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you get up from your bed?
We was downstairs watching TV, Your Honor.
And where was your mother?
In her room sleeping, Your Honor.
Who else lives in your house?
My dad and my older brothers.
Where was your father?
In his bed sleeping too, Your Honor.
Now, this was on a Thursday night. Did you have school on Friday?
It was when the school was out, Your Honor.
School's out May 29th where you live?
Yes. We live in Nebraska, Your Honor.
Well, they must raise very smart children in Nebraska for school to end so early. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, you all decided to get up and go out. Where were you going?
We was going out to vandalize cars, Your Honor.
Quiet. And how did you intend to vandalize these cars, sir?
We had a box cutter, Your Honor.
Where did you get the box cutter from?
My dad's toolbox, Your Honor. Tony's the one that got it.
Just a second. Where was your father's toolbox?
Down in the basement, Your Honor.
So you allowed Tony to take the box cutter from your father's toolbox?
No, Your Honor.
Sure you did. You saw him take it, didn't you?
No, Your Honor.
Well, you just told me that Tony took a box cutter. How do you know that?
Because Chris told me, Your Honor.
Oh, did you see him take the box cutter?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you told Brett? Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did Brett tell his mother?
No, Your Honor.
Because that was your intention, for the box cutter to be used to vandalize cars. Isn't that right?
Yes.
And that's what happened. Isn't that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I never heard about this community association watch-out thing or the reward or anything else about this.
He's lost. He's lost. With you for a mother, he's lost.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve Wagner claims 11-year-old Brett Mueller and 13-year-old Christopher Schulte vandalized his vehicles.
Now, who acted as the lookout?
I did, Your Honor.
And what did you do?
I went with Tony, but I didn't touch no car.
Whose responsibility other than Brett's was it to look out for people to make sure nobody saw you?
Brett.
You were just there.
Mm-hmm.
You should have stayed in bed. Now, where is Brett's mother? Does Brett have a mother here?
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Try not looking at your nails. Step up.
Move over.
Now I'm going to read to you. Tony is the kid who did all the damages. The plaintiff is trying to hold my son responsible. Mr. Mueller, this is according to your answer. Mr. Mueller is known to harass teens in the neighborhood, but mine should not be one of them. I refuse to take responsibility for this other kid's actions. Is that what you wrote? Huh?
Yes.
You want to take it back?
No.
After what your son just told me?
No, because I was told by a police detective that he has harassed other kids in the neighborhood.
Did you hear what your son just told me? He told me that he acted as the lookout. While Tony, the elusive Tony, and we're going to find out a little bit more about Tony, vandalized other people's cars. Now, that's not to say that I believe him, that he didn't touch this box cutter, but they got up at 3 o'clock in the morning out of your house, where you should have been watching 3 teenage boys, but you weren't, because I don't know whether you were drunk or smoking something or just sleeping, but you were certainly zonked out, so you didn't hear
Drunk or
3
smoking
teenagers
something.
get out of your house 3 o'clock in the morning, go outside, vandalize 14 cars, and then say, my boy isn't responsible. He's not responsible for not only a little piece of the damage, but he's responsible for none of the damage. It's all his fault because he harasses children. That's what you wrote here.
Why am I being accused of drinking or smoking?
Because I want to tell you something, madam. When I had teenage children in my house, I knew if they got up 3 o'clock in the morning to go out in the middle of the night, I would have gone to check on those children to make sure that at a reasonable hour,
First of all,
that
I didn't
because
even
they
know
said
Tony was even staying. Nobody asked me.
Just a second. Your son just told me that he went to you
Nobody
and asked
asked
you
me.
if Tony could sleep over, and you said yes. Then you tell me, I didn't even know Tony was there. Well, if you are the mother of a teenager, you're supposed to know where your son is all the time. And you're not supposed to go upstairs to go to sleep when you have 3 teenage children playing around in the basement or watching television in your house, because it's your responsibility to ensure their safety while they're in your charge. That's why I say either that or you're just a terrible mother. I'm not sure which one. Now, when you ask your son what happened, and this man comes to you and says, look what your son did to my car.
He never produced any evidence when he came over to our house to talk to us.
He doesn't have to produce evidence. You ask your son just like I did. You sit him down and you say to him, what's going on here?
And we did with 2 police officers there that he brought.
And?
And Brett had said that he had been there, but he had not touched any of the vehicles.
He acted as the lookout. I just answered the question. He knows what a lookout is. It was his job to make sure that nobody was around while that's what he says. And again, I'm not so sure it's true. But that's what he admitted to. Did he admit to the police officers he acted as a lookout?
Not that I know.
No.
But I live 2 blocks from this gentleman, and I never heard about this community association watch-out thing or the reward or anything else about this.
So?
I didn't even know that there was a community association. I'm just saying. How come I didn't hear about this when this happened?
He's lost. He's lost. With you for a mother, he's lost. Because what you're supposed to say to a child today is, it's the first time I'm hearing about it, Judge. A, he got punished because he went out 3 o'clock in the morning. B, I never realized that he was part of this plot. I mean, if he was an adult, he'd be in jail. Before me, he would be in jail. Because he was the lookout in the commission of vandalism of 14 vehicles. That's what he did. And instead of saying to him, you're in deep trouble, boy, you're saying, I didn't know about the association. It's his fault because he's harassing children. It's not your son's fault because, according to you, he allowed Tony to stay at your house without your permission, got up 3 o'clock in the morning, gave Tony or allowed him to have your husband's tool for the express purpose of vandalizing cars, and you're blaming everybody else except him.
Oh, I'll
well,
blame
you better,
him.
well,
I'll take care of him when I get home.
Good. That's all you had to say just now. That's all you had to say is, Judge, I never heard this before. It's the first time I heard it. And I'm going to take care of him when I get home. And I do owe Mr. Mueller an apology. That's all you had to say. You want to stand up now? Let's start out with the premise that your son just gave me a lot of who shot John. That going out there for the purposes of vandalizing cars makes him responsible. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Now, has he ever told you this story before?
He told me a little bit of the story, but this is the first I heard about 3 o'clock in the morning, and the first I heard about 14 cars. Now, he did admit to the 2 vehicles of Mr. Wagner's, but I don't know anything about 14 other cars.
I don't care if I only have Mr. Wagner here.
And he did admit he was there. He was guilty by association for being there. Whether he
went out for the express purpose of vandalizing cars.
He may have. I don't know. He never admitted it to me yet. So.
Well, he just did to me, didn't he?
Well, he still needs to admit it to me, and we will deal with it.
Well, let me hear you.
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes, what?
We did. Was there?
And what do you say?
Just a second.
What do you say to me?
I'm sorry.
Now, what do you say to Mr. Wagner?
I'm sorry.
Now, Ms. Schulte, there's inadequate supervision in that household. If I were you, I would not let my son sleep there again. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
The damage to the 2 cars comes to $2,336. Now, neither one of you 2 boys seems to be able to tell anybody what Tony's last name is, what his telephone number is,
Your Honor?
anything about him. Yes.
My husband and my son and Chris took the police to Tony's house.
Yes.
And gave the last number and the phone number to the police to give to Mr. Wagner.
Did you ever get it?
If he got it from the police, I don't know.
Did you ever get it?
No, Your Honor, I have not, and I've been in contact with the investigating officer at least 2 times for the last 2 weeks.
Now, I would advise the 2 of you to go into small claims court and sue Tony's mother for 1/3 of the damage that I am assessing against you. Because it's not his responsibility to go and find the elusive Tony. It's your responsibility to go and find the elusive Tony. So in this case,
he's a ward of the state, so there's no way we'd be able to do that.
Well, that's unfortunate. Then the judgment is going to fall on you. Judgment for the plaintiff, the amount of $2,336. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
From what I understand, he's been harassing all the children.
First of all, I don't know anything about the harassment of other children.
If he's got a problem, he should come to the parents, not go to the kids.
I've had no contact with other children other than my neighbors. Children, they're super kids.
I guess I'm going to say he was harassing my mom, too.
Because of the gang that these kids have put together, they kind of hold us hostage in our neighborhood.
There's nothing to do back in our town, so they ride bikes. That's a gang.
Parents better be aware of what their children are doing.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Jones versus Stegall. Step forward, please.
18-year-old waitress Bonnie Jones is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old tile installer Thomas Stegall, for writing checks from a shared account after they broke up.
Miss Jones, Mr. Stegall was your boyfriend.
Yes.
While you were together, you made the monumental mistake of having a joint bank account with him.
Yes.
It was probably a mistake for both of you, but certainly since you're on that side of the table, it was a bigger mistake for you. According to your complaint, at the time you broke up, you left some of the checks in the apartment or in the house where you were living.
Yes.
Mr. Stegall found those checks because he had not been writing checks on the account. You had. And over the next month, he wrote a series of checks. The bounced fees, et cetera, came to about $600. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And there's no question, these were all his checks, his withdrawals, after you broke up. Is that right?
Yep.
Now, I think, Mr. Stegall, you acknowledge that all of these checks were written after you broke up. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So now, I would like you to tell me, and at the same time you're going to tell Bird, your defense.
Well, at the time we broke up, she was controlling the checking account. I gave all my money, my paychecks to her, and she deposited it. When we split up, I hadn't been using the checkbook. I wasn't allowed to. So when she left, I figured there was still money in there for me to use. I didn't know.
Do you know how to use a telephone?
I didn't know where she was.
But you know where your bank was.
Yes, ma'am.
Would it ever dawn on you to go into the bank and find out if there was any money left in that account?
It didn't occur to me, no, ma'am.
Okay. So continue. Bird's still listening.
Well, basically, I found the checkbook, and I decided that, well, I really wasn't thinking straight at the time, I guess you could say. I needed a few things, or wanted a few things, and I ended up writing a few checks that turned out to bounce. And she's called me quite a few times since then to let me know, and I told her I'd do the best I can to work on it, but I just got employed again, just getting stuff straightened out.
Would you tell me what your defense is?
I had no idea there wasn't any money in the account. I thought that my money was still in there.
So if you knew that there was no money in the account, you wouldn't have written these checks. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, ma'am.
So then you owe her the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Isn't this easy? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $606. That's it.
Thank you.
Excuse, you may step out.
Sound technologist Kathy Cassidy is suing her daughter's former friend, 21-year-old UPS worker Colin Graves, for wrecking her BMW. Colin says he was picking up cocaine for Kathy's daughter.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 128 on the calendar in the matter of Cassidy versus Graves. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats. You're welcome.
Bird, this is another one of those cases of Dumb and Dumber, and Mama gets to pay the bill.
Ooh.
Which one is your daughter?
Erin.
That's dumb. Dumber. Miss Cassidy made the mistake of letting her daughter borrow her car. Her daughter went to a party and got blotto drunk. So far correct, Miss Cassidy?
Pretty accurate.
Somehow or another, Mr. Graves over here, dumber, got the car and wrecked it. Mr. Graves' defense, while he acknowledges that he went over a curb or a building, is that right, sir? You're not exactly sure.
Technically.
Thereby damaging the car, has a novel defense. So we have agreed on a certain state of facts. Miss Cassidy, the mother, owner of the car, daughter whose name is?
Erin Cassidy.
Drunk, blotto, laid out. He takes the car. Now we're going to hear his defense. We can't wait.
All right. Well, we're at a party at my friend's house, and Erin asked me to go pick up an errand for her. And
Pick up what?
Pick up an errand.
Pick up an errand.
Yeah.
Is that heavy?
No. No, it's not.
Erin asked you to what?
To drive her car to go pick up an errand for her.
To go pick up an errand. Could you describe what an errand is, sir? Because Bird and I don't understand what an errand is. Is that bigger than a bread box, smaller than a bread box? What does it do? What does an errand do?
It's an illegal substance.
An errand is called an illegal substance.
No,
Bird,
that's what I want to
have you ever heard an illegal substance called an errand?
Not in this lifetime.
Not in this lifetime. And having been around family courts and the court system for a long time, we would have heard, I mean, we've heard of a lot of things, but we've never heard of an illegal substance called an errand. We're going to start again, Mr. Graves.
Okay.
You were at a party, and Erin asked you to what?
To go pick up some cocaine for her.
Okay. Did she give you any money? I would like you to look in my eyes when you speak to me.
All right. She tried to give me some money, but she couldn't find her wallet because she was too drunk. And so we went looking for her wallet, and I found it outside in the front, or next to the front door. So.
Look at my eyes.
Sorry.
So you took money out of her wallet, or you brought the wallet back to her?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh, what? Uh-huh is not an answer.
Yes.
You see what I mean, Dumb and Dumber?
Dumb and Dumberer.
Dumb and Dumberer. Uh-huh is not an answer. Either you took the money out of her wallet, or you brought the wallet back to her for her to take the money out of it, and uh-huh is not an answer. Column A or column B? Which one was it?
Took the wallet to her.
And she took the money out?
No, she said to look in it and take the money.
And how much money did you take out?
Just 20 bucks.
20 bucks. And where did you go to purchase this cocaine for Erin with the 20 bucks?
From a friend of mine.
Friend of yours?
Yeah. Well, a friend of ours.
A mutual friend. The person's name?
I can't give that.
Oh, yes, you can.
All right.
You're here in court. I'm asking you a question. I have to decide whether or not you're telling me the truth. The person's name?
Justin.
Justin what?
I don't know. I don't want to give it to you. Sorry.
Now, you're in the car on your way with the $20 to buy cocaine for Erin, who was drunk. So drunk she couldn't even find her own wallet. And what happened with the car, Mr. Graves?
Well, I was turning to a left-hand turn lane, and I got a glare in my eye.
What time was it?
I think 11 or so.
At
11,
night?
Yes.
Was it a sun glare?
No, it was from a light, because I wear contacts.
It was from what light, because you wear...
The street light. Like, you know, the light that's red, green, signal light. And I
So
got...
because you wear contact lenses, it affects your light in a way different from the way it affects normal people?
No, not necessarily. I don't know how normal people see because I'm not a normal seer.
You're not normal, is what you're saying. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
No, I'm not trying to say that.
You were blinded by the light. And what happened?
Well, I drive a truck, so I'm not used to her quick handling, and sorry.
You got blinded by the light. And what happened?
And I was turning to the left-hand turn lane, and there's an island there. And I went up the curb onto the island.
Thereby damaging the
rims.
Then you went and bought the cocaine.
Yes.
And you brought it back to the house.
Yes.
And what did you do with it?
Well, I went to go find Erin, but she was passed out on my friend's bed.
And?
And so then I just gave it to someone else.
You gave Erin's cocaine to somebody else?
Well, someone else was purchasing some too at the same time.
You mean you drove somebody else also to your friend Justin's house to buy the cocaine?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Well, how many purchasers... Bird. This is very serious business. This is the future of our country here that's standing here.
Merely cleaning my
This is the
glasses.
future of America. How many purchasers were in the car altogether, Mr. Graves?
None of them were purchasers.
Well,
But
that
they were
was
just-
you.
I wasn't purchasing.
Sure, you were purchasing.
I was purchasing it for other people.
You were an
Yes.
errand.
Yes.
Sorry, he was an errand. And then there was at least one other person who you also said was in the car also purchasing, right?
No. No other person in the car was purchasing besides me.
I thought you said somebody else in the house. You gave
Well,
it to...
I brought 2 people with me, but they weren't purchasing any. They were just going along for the ride.
So you gave it to...
The person that was back at the house.
Just because they were... Was it their birthday or anything?
Not that I know of.
Was it a bar mitzvah present? No. Just because you were a nice guy. Because you don't do any cocaine.
No, not anymore. Not anymore.
I don't mean now, I mean then.
Yeah, I did.
It's party time. So you just gave away the cocaine. Didn't want to use any of it yourself that night. Didn't want to save any for later.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You know what makes me doubt what he said? The fact that when he came back, and because she was sleeping, he gave the cocaine away. Yeah.
And later today,
I'm not happy, you're not happy, let's call this quits. And he then crossed the double yellow line in my car and started driving towards oncoming traffic full force.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kathy Cassidy says her daughter's former friend, Colin Graves, damaged her BMW when he drove it over a curb. Colin says Kathy's daughter asked him to go buy cocaine.
How much did it cost you to fix this car, Miss Cassidy?
$25, $34, $95 or something.
Do you have any proof of that?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Where's the car now, Miss Cassidy?
It's in my possession.
Did you give her the car back?
Well, she still uses it on occasion, but the story of what happened isn't exactly as...
I don't necessarily buy everything that he says. Right. You know what makes me doubt what he said? The fact that when he came back, and because she was sleeping, he gave the cocaine away.
Yeah.
I tried to wake her up.
That's not what I'm talking about. That he gave it away because he didn't want to use it himself, you know, even though then he was using cocaine occasionally, he didn't want to use it, so he just gave it to a friend.
Right, that's very kind.
Do you understand? We're not kind.
Yeah.
Kind. So I'm sure somewhere in the middle of what your daughter told you and what Mr. Future of America told me lies the truth.
Yes.
It really is irrelevant. Yes. She was irresponsible.
Yes, she was.
She drove a car and she got drunk. He acknowledges that she was drunk. so that he should not have taken her car, because if she was drunk, she was in no position to give advised consent to him taking the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
And therefore, he should not have taken it. Whether he was doing errand for her or not, or doing errand for somebody else, or just being a jerk, he should not have taken the car because she was drunk. And I don't think you have to suffer for that. I just wanted to make sure that you knew that your daughter did the wrong thing by taking your car and putting herself in a position where she wasn't totally together.
And she agrees. She
Good.
understands.
Absolutely fine. In any event, Mr. Graves was driving the car. Unfortunately for him, he was blinded by whatever light it was. Maybe it was a shooting star. He owes you $25.34. That's $2,534. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much. Goodbye, and I wish us all luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I did not ask for drugs that night, and I did not tell him to go take my car to do drugs. In fact, he was the one that did the drugs, so.
She was coherent at the time when I asked her for her keys.
I was never asked. That's not the truth.
And Alicia was inside the room with me when I got the keys from her.
So that was the first lie.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Pike versus Pedersen, step forward, please.
Landscaper Richard Pike is suing ex-girlfriend, loan consultant Tanya Pedersen, for breaking a lease when he suddenly moved out. Tanya says Richard told her he wanted to be single again.
Mr. Pike, the defendant was your girlfriend. According to your complaint, you lived together someplace else, and you've been together for a while, and you came down to
San Diego,
and took an apartment together, along with a third roommate. Is this the third roommate?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Good. You signed a lease, all three of you, and you moved in February of this year. And according to you, a month later, the defendant moved out.
Yes.
And you want her to be responsible for her third share of the remainder of the lease, right?
That's correct.
Plus, you want her to pay for half the amount that you believe she owes on a credit card that's in your name because you used it to pay joint bills.
Correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Peterson says that you made it unsafe for her to live there and that she doesn't owe you anything on the credit card. She paid as she went. And she says, how dare you sue her for any money when you used her car and her gas and her insurance on the car for almost a year without giving her any money.
That's correct.
The lease was signed January 1st or starting February 1st?
February 5th, I believe it was.
How many bedrooms are in the apartment?
2 bedrooms.
You were sharing one with Miss Peterson.
Correct.
And
Joseph
had his own bedroom. So how much rent was Joseph paying?
$650 a month, I believe it was, and we were paying $670.
Are you all still living there, is that right?
Joseph and I are, yes.
You're going to continue to stay there?
Yes, Your Honor.
You don't want anybody else sharing your room with you, do you?
Not at this particular moment, no.
Then why are you bothering her about the rent?
Because we moved in with an agreement that we had planned all this, and if she had, not wanted to live there, then she shouldn't have moved in the first place. And
well, let's go back a second. She moved out on what date?
Approximately March 8th.
March 5th, Your Honor.
And did you pay March's rent?
Yes, I did.
What about April? Did you give money in April?
No, I did not.
That's incorrect, Your Honor. She paid me for April rent.
Okay.
You paid for April rent. See that? How did she give you April's rent?
Reluctantly.
No, how did she give it to you?
In a check, form of a cashier's check made out to the landlord.
Now, Miss Peterson, you want to tell me why you moved out?
Yes. On the morning of March 5th, on the way to work, we had been sharing my car, and he was driving me to work. He was venting to me about wanting to be single, about feeling like
No, I want you to tell me what he said.
Okay, he basically said he wanted to be single.
And you said why?
He said that I was inadequate, pretty much.
And Mr. Pike, you remember that conversation?
But I didn't tell her she was inadequate.
What did you tell her?
I told her that, I was frustrated with the way things were going as far as, like, me doing all the cleaning and upkeep on all the things and the bills and worrying about the bills. And wasn't being, I was just being figurative when I said that. I wasn't being literal. Just something I said off the top of my head.
That'll teach you. So you told...
So on the way, he dropped me off. I let it go. He picked me up from work, and I said, well, I want to finish this conversation. I agree with you. I'm not happy. You're not happy. Let's call this quits. And he said, well, why aren't you happy? I said, there's lots of reasons. And he then crossed the double yellow line in my car and started driving towards oncoming traffic full force.
That's incorrect, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
We're coming towards oncoming traffic, and he peels into a parking lot, slams on the brakes, yelling profanities at me, jumps out of the car, slams the door, walks away. I was standing there shaking, about 5 minutes.
They had a big fight.
Yes, and I left, drove away, got my stuff, and
left.
And left.
Okay. Does the fight sound familiar to you? That
Half of it does. I was stranded out where I was left, and then my roommate came to pick me up.
So you remember
later on.
you remember having this big fight?
Right.
Mr. Pike, if I find that it's not a good idea for the two of you to live together, which I do, you're not happy with her, she's not happy with you, you're certainly not going to share a room together for the next 10 months. You have to do, or she has to do, what we call mitigating the damages, which means reducing any damages that there might be. So you can do either one of three things, Mr. Pike. You can either pay it yourself with Joseph, and the two of you live there together. That's one choice. You can, at this date, find a new roommate to share your room with you, your bigger room. That's your second choice. The third choice is to have Miss Peterson find you a roommate. She might be able to do that. You might not like it. But that would also mitigate your damages. So you want to tell me what's your pleasure?
According to the choices, let's see.
One from column A, one from B, or is it door C?
But there's no room for someone to move in there. When I have another guy move in there like we're in college, you know? I mean, I'm 30 years old. And she signed a lease. Why did she sign a lease if she didn't want to live there?
Because, Mr. Pike, when she signed the lease, it was anticipated by both of you that you would be able to share a room together and live as a couple.
We did for a year and a half before that in Seattle.
Pay careful attention to me, sir. That didn't work out. And based upon what I heard, it didn't work out by mutual agreement. You weren't happy, and you let her know that. She wasn't happy. Then there was a flare-up, and I find that it is not in the best interest of the community for the two of you to be forced to live together. Therefore, in contract law, you have to do what's necessary to mitigate your damages. She's not moving in with Joseph because he's your friend. You want to stay there with him alone, pay your rent. You want her to find you a roommate? I'll order that she put ads in the newspaper, select somebody. You never can tell. You may get a roommate that looks like her. Go ahead.
I'll take choice A on that one.
That you and Joseph will stay together. I sort of thought that you would. Now, you want to go into this credit card with me, sir?
She couldn't get a credit card because of her current credit status, so I filed for a credit card, got one, and we used it just for groceries, living expenses. It was always agreed upon. You know, she'd always promised to pay half of it.
Now I'll hear your end of it.
Yes. The whole time that we were together, I used my debit card for food purchases, gas purchases, car purchases, insurance. He was using my car for a year. The total amount of expenses that were incurred for both of us over the last 12 months is over $10,000.
Show me.
Then, Your Honor, that's incorrect because I sold my truck August of 2002 for us to have money to move down here. And so I only used her car in Seattle for like 2 months.
I'm looking at her debits. I want to see her debits since while you were living together.
And you can note on there. Oh.
And I want to see the final bill as of March 5th. Well, it seems she had a bank balance and she had money that she was taking out pretty regularly. Larger
I used
item.
my debit card as well as the credit card, too. I mean, I had a debit card as well.
Show me.
I didn't bring my own, brought the credit card statements with me.
Well, did you work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did she work?
Yes. When we moved down here, neither one of us were working. We were using the credit card to live on.
That's inaccurate?
Well, she's got some items here where she went grocery shopping and used her debit card, sir. If she went shopping for food and she spent $42 for food, and then you went the next time and used your credit card, do you expect any judge to sit there and figure out the difference and who owes who what? That's what happens when you live together. We do not have a court system in place for people who almost have a commitment to each other. It just doesn't work that way, Mr. Pike. Get over it. Hope you and Joseph are very happy together. Take your bills and pay them. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
44-year-old Judy Smith says she fell in love with 37-year-old chef Kevin Lucht. She says she gave him a Porsche and thousands of dollars, but Kevin took her for a ride.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. It's number 45 on the calendar in the matter of Smith versus Luck. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, please.
He owes you a lot of money. She owes you a lot of money. Folks.
Tell me about it.
Well, I'm telling you about it. It looks
Good.
to me, from the complaint, that's your complaint, that you met, fell in like love, infatuation, whatever it is. You moved into her house. She supported you to the tune of lots of money. And then you broke up. You say you gave up a whole lifestyle where you were living and a job. She owes you money.
I'm saying, well, I should probably be at work right now instead of being in to me, this is weird.
Miss Smith, how did it all start?
On Thanksgiving, I went to a wedding up in Big Bear, and I met Kevin. At the time that I met him, he claimed that he was on an 8-month leave from Carnival Cruise Line, where he was the star chef who flew around and did all their troubleshooting things and did all the special cooking for the owner of the cruise line. And that he had not had a vacation in 2 years, so he decided to take a working vacation and work at a restaurant in Big Bear. Whereas he had this big hard luck story about how shortly after he went to work that they wrongfully terminated him. And at the times I met him, he was doing odd jobs, raking leaves and things like that for this couple over here. And that he had no prospects of jobs in his field.
Okay.
Okay, so he wrote me like poetic things and wonderful letters, and we got along great, and he wanted to have a family. He wanted to get married.
Well, was this by letter, or did you see him? You left the wedding, you went home, and home was
No,
where?
I stayed for a few days.
Okay.
And we saw each other through the whole time that...
For a few days, but
that
then
I
you
was
went
there.
home.
Then I left, and then he left this great, wonderful message on my voicemail, and we talked on the phone.
What did the message say?
A breath of fresh air came into my life. Your presence, totally unforeseen, makes me wish I'd never met my wife. Perhaps it's all a dream, but a soulmate's path I feel I've crossed. Just as I started my healing, we're good together, I'll make us last. Know these thoughts are what I'm feeling. Where's the damn dog? And then...
All right, so you thought he was in love.
So I thought he was in love. I thought I was in love.
And what did you do?
So we talked about it and agreed that he said he would be able to get a job very quickly in Los Angeles because he's such a great chef. And that then, of course, we were going to get married and have children. The agreement, the financial agreement in his coming to Los Angeles was that any of my normal things that wouldn't change, like my mortgage payment or paying the gardener or the cable, those things I was not going to charge him in retrospect once he got a job. But anything that would be an added expense.
Miss Smith, is what you're telling me that you actually had a discussion with Mr. Lucht about division of financial responsibility?
Yes.
So what did you say to him? You said to him you would have to pay these expenses?
I explained to him that I did not have an income, that I was not rich, that I was, we even talked about when we got married that I didn't want to have to be a working mother. And he claims that he's capable of making so much money because he's such an incredible chef.
Okay, so he came, moved in, and it didn't work out.
Exactly.
Now, how does he owe you this in excess of $5,000? For what?
Well, it started with up in Big Bear. He had debts up there. He had to come up with the money. He promised me that he would pay me back.
How much money did you give him?
Up in Big Bear, it was probably over $1,000.
Did he sign a note for that money?
No, he didn't. I didn't think it was a business transaction. I thought I was dealing with somebody who loved me, who had gone to great lengths.
Did she give you money in Big Bear?
I elicited one loan from Miss Smith throughout our relationship, and that was for $500, which I have since offered to pay back. I make very good money. I'm working right now.
Well, just a minute. When did you borrow this $500 from her?
When I was in Big Bear to cover my rent, my last month's rent.
All right. $500, you say you still owe her.
Yes.
Is the other money that you say he owes you, I mean, you list a whole laundry list of things, car expenses, credit card expenses. You gave him a credit card. Stop looking through your papers. You've got more papers there than I can deal with. You gave him a credit card to use.
Yes.
Why?
One of my credit cards I had authorized for him to use because he claimed that he had a business opportunity in Reno and that if he could get there, that he was going to have these legal papers drawn up, that he was, going to pay me back everything because it was an opportunity for him to have a part of this company and an ongoing income from that. So
how much did you let him use on your credit card?
That trip was a total of $984.81.
Any other monies used on you from your credit card by him?
This was, yes, just in regards to that trip.
No, I'm talking about all of the credit card expenses.
Oh, it's thousands. Not on this authorized credit card, but on other credit cards.
Well, he used other credit cards of yours?
Yes, that he was not authorized to use.
How did he do that?
Authorized to use. I'm not sure. I assume he was taking them out of my wallet.
I'd like to see my signature on those cards, yeah. That would be a real plus, because that never happened.
Well, do you have any... Listen to me, Miss Smith. You did spend $984 on this one credit card for your trip to Reno. Is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay, did you pay her back for that?
There was no... You have to understand that this situation, when she says what's mine is yours, when she gives me the credit card and says, this is just have fun. You've been working, take a break. You owe me nothing. I have no job. At this point in time, I had no job. When I entered into this relationship, I was very clear. I said, I have to go back to work. I'll come back in 6 months after I do 6 months on the ship where I have $30,000 or $40,000, and that'll put less strain on the relationship. No, quit your job, come move in with me, with tears running down her face, calling my parents. It's ridiculous to think that I am, at 37 years old, am so stupid that I would enter into a situation where I didn't have, if I was planning on leaving the ship as she suggested, which I ended up doing, and I've got 3 or 4 months without working, for me to incur expenses when I don't know where the money's going to be coming from is ridiculous.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't know what the stupid expenses are, madam.
All his 900 number sex phone
What 900
calls.
numbers are you talking about?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Judalon Smith claims she made a big mistake falling for Kevin Luck, but she only realized it after giving him thousands of dollars.
What was the trip to Reno about, sir?
I went to Reno to discuss a possible business venture with a company called Nevada Foods.
So it was a business trip that you took?
Yes, but it was...
Just a second. Yeah. This wasn't go have a good time with it. This wasn't going out and doing, fun things, going shopping. This was a business opportunity that you had.
And she was fully aware that the people that I went to deal with, to do the business thing with, that may work out, it may not work out. I'm not dealing with a corporation here. I'm dealing with 2 people that have a small company that need some consulting fees.
Mr. Luck, you're talking a lot. We're not getting anywhere.
Okay.
You used the credit card, and you evidently told her that you were using the credit card to go down for business. What you're suggesting is that there was no understanding between the 2 of you for the use of this credit card, on which your name was authorized, that you would repay her. That's what you're saying to me.
Yeah, there was never any financial arrangements whatsoever made, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, you said that there were some bills, some credit cards that he used that he was not authorized to use.
Correct.
Prove that to me, quickly.
Well, he wrote a letter to me here, which, besides his pathological thing trying to dismiss all his past debt so that we could move forward, he says, I'm so sorry for the things I've done and the money that's been wasted and the advantage that has been taken. I've already told you, I'll just hand my check over to you. And his fantasy is 1 or 2 months' pay will more than cover these stupid expenses. And then he goes on down here.
I don't know what the
how much
stupid
he loves me.
expenses are, madam. I don't know what they are. So far, I have $500 that
They're
he
all
says...
his phone calls, they're all his beer tabs, they're all his 900 number sex phone
What 900
calls.
numbers are you talking about?
Miss
I don't
Smith,
understand what you're
Miss
talking
Smith,
about.
I'm leaving you for... The rest of it are things that are phone calls from your house, pieces of utility bills, pieces of other things. Is that right?
Correct.
Pieces of other things. You bought him a car?
Never.
Did you buy him a car? Did you lease him a car?
No.
Well, what's
no.
this Porsche that's in
The
these
Porsche
papers?
is a car he talked me into buying that I bought, that is in my name, that I paid for. He claimed that he eventually, when he sold his imaginary Corvettes in Oregon, which his parents told me do not exist, that he wanted to be able to buy it from me, and that if he couldn't buy it from me, it was a great investment.
It's your car. You let him. You let him drive it.
I let him drive both of my cars.
Okay. Now, why don't you tell me why you think she owes you $5,000?
Because I gave up a very lucrative job. I gave away my furniture.
Just a second. What lucrative job did you give up? Just, Mr. Luck, tell me what.
I was a chef for Carnival Cruise Lines.
When she met you?
Yeah, I was on leave of absence. Of course, yes. I took 8 months off.
What else?
The furniture and all the belongings that I gave away because she said I would never need them again because if she would make sure that I would be taken care of if anything ever happened in this relationship, that she loved me, she would never put me out on the street. Her last husband she gave $40,000 cash to in a car when they broke up, and don't worry, just trust her and everything will be okay. All the possessions of mine that she still has, that she's holding ransom, I mean everything from
like
passports, birth certificates, clothing, you name it. I left her house with the clothes on my back.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I'm a deadbeat, I'm a leech. She's a chronic liar. What can I tell you?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Professional chef Kevin Luck says plaintiff Judalon Smith's claims against him for money and a car are simply the result of their breakup.
Sir, your countersuit says that you're suing her. The large bulk of the money is for $8,800 because the job I gave up, you were convinced to give up because she said she would take care of you.
True.
To the tune of $8,800. Now, yet, you told me that you made a trip to Nevada to get into a new business venture while you were still together. So you weren't planning on just staying, relaxing, and doing nothing. Even according to you, you were trying to find something to do.
I was looking for employment, but see, I had up until April 1st before my contract runs out. If I sign back on by April 1, I go back to work normal as usual.
So why didn't you do that?
Because she begged me to stay. Everything would be okay. She told other people.
What was the date that you separated?
I'm not exactly sure what the day. I've been so busy at work, I don't even remember what day it was. Do you remember what day it was?
The first time I asked him to...
The last time you asked him to leave.
The last time when I called the police to remove him was May 3rd. I had packed his bags a week before that, and he refused to leave, making great threats against me if he
What
could not
happened that
stay.
you finally had enough, Miss?
Kevin started doing drugs around the beginning of February. Kevin went into, he had been clean when I met him, he claimed. And then the pressure of not getting a job, and he had supposedly been hired, a friend of mine had referred him to the Beverly Hills Tennis Club, and he claimed that he had gotten that job and then was fired on the first day. And as a result, he went off and started having these escapades of disappearing for 24 to 36 hours, and he was off doing drugs. And he admitted to me that he was a cocaine addict, part of our agreement. And the day that I had him leave, I had taken him to a Cocaine Anonymous meeting. In response to his saying that he missed all this work, this is his calendar, which I found a couple of weeks ago on my bookshelf. It shows that on September 8th is when he started his job in Big Bear. And he does have down here the days and the hours and stuff, and you can see that up through October, and he was taking little trips and vacations.
But see, that's inaccurate.
But as of November, there was nothing. And also,
Miss
In
Smith.
August, wait, I think you should hear this. In August, he wrote, "Put lying, cheating, robbing, selfish, untrustworthy, spoiled, psycho from hell behind me forever. Take full advantage of this new chance." Obviously, he has this problem with other women because this was August of '96 before
How
I
can you
met
say
him.
that? Do you know what I was thinking when I wrote that? Do you have any idea it wasn't about you?
I know it's not about me, so you have this repeated
Okay,
problem with
as
women.
As far as working in November, I work for these folks.
Who are you?
This is
Huh?
Philip and Janet.
Just a second. They can speak. They're adults. Who are you?
Philip and Janet Day, ma'am.
Who wants to talk?
I'll talk if you want to.
Right up here.
Okay.
Just listen to me. I'm going to ask very short questions.
All right.
What type of work did he do for you in Big Bear?
I have a recording studio, and he's co-producing 3 albums with me.
I didn't ask you what he's doing now, sir.
No, that's what he was doing, and he's still doing it.
That's what he was doing
Yes,
then when she met him?
absolutely.
Yeah, were you paying him?
Oh, yeah, I was taking care of his rent, and I was taking care of his daily bread. So feeding him, and he was working like me. He's a workaholic, so he's working 20 hours a day. And during the day, we would cut logs and leaves and stuff, and in the evening, we would record.
Just to say, what expertise does he have with regard to your business if he's a chef?
He's a very, very good drummer. He's a world-class drummer.
With a cocaine problem?
I don't
Says
know.
she.
That, ma'am, I don't know anything about.
Let's get your rehab records.
Yeah, let's do.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. How does a cook become a producer? I
Well,
don't
he's also a
understand
drummer,
that.
ma'am. He's also a very good drummer.
How much were you paying him in Big Bear?
I was taking care of his rent, which was...
I don't understand why you take care of rent. Why
Well, because
somebody
he-
works for
because-
you, then you pay them. What do
Because
you mean you take
basically it's
care-
an investment for me with him, and then eventually when we let's hope that we're successful, then eventually
No,
it would pay
what I
back
don't
to me.
understand, sir, is when somebody works for you, you give them a salary and they take care of their own rent.
Yeah, I
What do you
agree
mean
with
you were taking care of him? Why
Well,
did somebody have to
because-
take care of him?
Because at the time he was working with me and I agreed to help him.
Why didn't you just pay him?
Because it wasn't his, he didn't want that. He wanted he wanted to pay me back whenever we're successful.
I was preparing to go back to work on the ship within the next month. I didn't need money.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Judalyn Smith says her former boyfriend, Kevin Lucht, conned her out of thousands and never had any intention of marrying her. He says Judalyn is just bitter.
This was a tragic mistake on your part. Just listen to me. You've said your piece. Put your papers away. Cross this matter off. It was a very bad experience. You got taken in. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you got taken in?
Yes.
All that you've been able to establish, to my satisfaction, that he owes you $1,484. Now, the rest of it I want you to take and say this was a mistake. His phone calls that he made, the groceries that you bought for him, the clothes that you bought for him. Just listen to me. Just listen to me. It was a big mistake. You got taken in. And you, sir, as regard to your countersuit, that's the biggest crock of hogwash that I ever heard. Right? You
She has
had
all
no
of my belongings.
What?
She has in her possession my passport, everything from my passports to clothing.
Very good. Sell his clothes.
Excellent.
Sell his clothes and see what you can do about recouping any money that he owes you from selling his clothes. If nothing else, Miss Smith, just pay attention. Sell his clothes, give him back his passport. That's all. $1,484 for the plaintiff.
Excuse you may step out.
And on the next Judge Judy,
Versus Alexander. Step forward, please.
28-year-old model Tanya Fry claims professional photographer Sean Alexander sexually harassed her during a studio session and did not return her slides. Sean's witness, Vanessa Gill, says he's a total professional.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom. Judge, number 42 on the calendar in the matter of Fry versus Alexander. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
You're a model?
Yes.
Aspiring.
Yes.
So you have to smile. Mr. Alexander, you're a photographer.
Yes, I am.
You needed pictures?
Yes.
You hired him to take pictures.
Yes.
Now you're suing him.
Yes.
For $1,000. Right? That's what you said.
They went up to $2,000 as of this morning.
Well, the papers that I have are for $1,000.
Good.
So why don't you tell me about this arrangement and why you think he owes you any money?
Well, he didn't agree to what we agreed in the first place.
Where did you meet him? Let's start with that.
The modeling management. Model. It's a model management.
Is that a company?
Agency.
An agency.
Modeling agency.
Was he referred to you by someone?
Well, he was there with my manager, and he showed me his pictures, his book, which was really good, that he took of other models. And yes, they did tell me his work was good. So, yes.
And what was the arrangement, the financial arrangement that you had with him?
I had to pay him, he said $250.
I didn't hear you.
It was $250, and that was for the photo shoot. I was getting 2 rows of pictures.
You were getting 2 rolls of pictures, or he was shooting 2 rolls of
He
pictures?
was going to shoot 2 rows of film. He said I would get 2 rows, which would be 72 pictures that I would get. Okay.
That you would get to keep?
That I would get, yes. That's what you do when you take pictures. You get your proof sheet, you get your negatives and your slides.
And what else was he supposed to give you for this $250?
Well, after I received the pictures from him, he does other things, or he does half of the job. You know, like the background change or the eye change or different things he do extra to the pictures. So that
he
would be
touches
extra
them up.
amount, right? Extra amount of money.
I know about that.
Okay, extra amount of money. So I paid for 4, which was $100. He said, and I have those 4.
4 photographs that you paid for out of your contact sheets.
This was
And that was $25 a piece, or another $100.
It was $100 for 4.
Okay.
Okay, I received those. Then we went back to the pictures. He brought some of the pictures. He said I would need 7 or 8 more pictures. So we picked 7 more pictures.
7 additional ones?
Additional ones.
At what cost?
$175. And then, because at the photo shoot, he only took cash. For these 4 pictures, he only took cash. He said only cash. Okay, so with these additional ones, only had a checkbook, and I had no more money. So I post-dated the check. He didn't want to take it, but before I left, he said he would take the check. So I post-dated the $175 check for those 7 additional pictures.
How long did you post-date the check for?
It was, about a week. Because it was, the week Thursday, and it was next Thursday, so it was a week.
Okay.
Which he had cashed it before the post-dated check. You understand? I didn't know they can do that, but
I didn't know either.
But he did, because
Okay.
I called the bank.
Okay.
Because I did not receive those 7 pictures, and I had been calling him, and he wouldn't return my phone calls to get me those pictures.
So that's what you're suing him for?
Yeah, for those pictures, and then the slides that I want also. The rest of my pictures, the slides.
You want the contact sheets and the negatives?
Yes.
Now, sir, let's start with the 7 pictures first. You cashed her check for $175?
Yes, I did.
And that was for 7 pictures?
7 pictures.
Where are her 7 pictures?
They're right here.
Take them out.
I mean, I have no problem with her testimony all the way to the end.
Okay.
Because, you know, she's just about right. I mean, we had an agreement, and what happened was that she said, I went out of my way to make this arrangement for her. Starting from the beginning, I charge $150 a roll. 2 rolls, $150, times 2 is $300. She bargained it down, and she knows that. She said, I'd like to shoot with you. I've seen your work. It's great. I said, okay, you know what? I'll make it $250, but that's it. She comes to the shoot. We'll do 2 rolls. In the middle of the session, of course, when I'm shooting, I ask the client, I finished the rolls. Do you want to go on? And I added 1 extra roll, and I did not even charge her for it. And so I finished the job. She was very happy. When it came to the ordering, she just kept saying she doesn't have the money. I even went out of my way. What I did was I went ahead and printed the pictures without asking any money for it. I said, you know what, I'm so confident that you're going to like the pictures, so I'll show you, just pay me when you pick it up. She saw it, she liked it, and she ordered some more. But then again, we had money problem. And she said, well, can I post the check? I said, sure you can. I mean, I know you're good for it. You've been paying me. I have no problem with her. She's a very nice lady. I mean, I don't know why we are even here. But, she posted the check, and I told her, I said, number one, your check is postdated for a week. I have to wait until I cash it because, you know, I'm not going to print.
That's reasonable.
Yeah, and number two, I was going to go out of town for a week. I mentioned that to her, and I said, when I come back, I pick up the picture and I'll give it to you.
How long did it take you to do the other 7 pictures after she had given you the check?
Usually,
no, not usually. In this case, how long was it before you completed those pictures?
About a week to 10 days.
Okay. Can I see the photographs?
Sure.
I would really like to see them. Now, the only other thing that I have to ask you, sir, is about this arrangement where she would get all the negatives and the
It's not my practice whatsoever. I have hundreds of receipts here that I always mention on the bottom of my receipts. If they ask for it, I'll write it down. I do not include the picture. I do not include any negative or slides. It is just for the session. I charge $150 just to shoot. I even brought my witness that we just shot yesterday, and this is my just a very last and desperate attempt to get somebody, because I had somebody to show up today and she canceled. She had a shoot. I had a model was supposed to be here.
Well, what is she going to tell me if she was testifying?
She was going to actually just basically how I charge people and how we, you know, I usually, you know.
All I can tell you, Miss Fry, is these are terrific. Have you seen them?
I never see.
Well, I would love you to take a look at them. I think that they're really exceptional.
No, I've never said that he does good work, but I have another comment about the amount. Actually, was $2,000. Posted in
Whether it was $2,000, I don't know what you're suing for $2,000 for. $1,000. Just a second. I don't know what you would be suing for $1,000 or $2,000 for.
Right.
To be honest with you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He was behind me, okay, grabbing my rear, telling me again how attractive my butt looked, how good it looked, making all these sexual comments.
And later today,
Tying their shoelaces together, sir, is a far cry from using a cigarette lighter and setting somebody on fire.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Photographer Sean Alexander denies that he took liberties with model Tanya Fry during a photo session, and as witness Vanessa Gill says Sean has a spotless reputation.
Now you have all 7 pictures that you paid for.
Okay,
right? Just a second. Just a second. And I think that if you had not had a final written agreement with regard to these negatives,
right,
I would not award you the negatives, because I don't believe it's custom in the industry for a photographer to give away the value of his trade, because that means that you can take these negatives and go into any photocopy store and say, I want you to make me pictures. Well, that's how he makes his money, because $250 for a photo shoot is very reasonable, right?
More than reasonable.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So he really, photographers make their money, professional photographers, over the other pictures that you keep ordering from them. So I think it's unreasonable for you to ask for those. He was supposed to shoot 2 rolls, and from those shot rolls, you were going to select other pictures that you were going to order. In this case, you ordered a total of 11 pictures.
Shot extra rolls.
Well, that wasn't said. The said was, you'll get 72 pictures, which would be more than enough what you would need for your book. So
I still don't understand why you're suing him for...
Well,
I still don't understand why you're suing him for $2,000. Then we'll get to this watch that you're holding. Is that her watch?
Yeah,
Yes,
I think that's what it is. Cost $2,000. I don't know. I mean,
And then-
Just a second. Was that left during the photo shoot?
Yes.
So give it back to her.
And then...
Take your watch.
The other incident was the harassment.
What
during
kind of harassment?
The photo shoot. The sexual harassment.
I can't believe it.
That was...
All right, so you're suing for sexual harassment. Let me hear. Is that what the money is for? Let me hear.
Changing in the room.
In what room?
It was in the dressing room at this house.
I have a makeup.
I'm going to get to you. Go ahead.
It was during this shoot that I was changing from the bathing suit to get in this position. He was behind me, okay, grabbing my rear, telling me all these accusations, how sexy, how attractive, ooh, how this looks so good, my behind, grabbing it. That was one incident. This
just a second. At
photo
what
shoot right here.
Just a second. At what stage was this?
During the photo shoot, toward the end of the photo shoot.
Go ahead.
Okay. During this photo shoot. He told me I had to raise it up more, the dress, put it up or on the side. So he came over there behind me. He did it again, hit me on the butt, telling me again how attractive my butt looked, how good it looked, making all these sexual comments. I was ready to leave. I told him, don't say that, don't do that. I said I was ready to go.
Are we done? Did that happen, sir?
It's total bogus. Let me tell you, throughout the photo shoot, I do make the models feel comfortable, and I do say certain things so they are comfortable. I pose them, I do whatever it's necessary to make him look good, and that's what the pictures are the proof, you can tell. But as far as she said she was ready to leave. She was ready to leave to have, she even said, maybe want to go get something to eat. That's as far as I left it at the photo shoot, and that was it.
Miss Fry, I have a couple of questions for you. You did this photo shoot. Towards the end of the photo shoot, you tell me now you believe he sexually harassed you. You stayed, correct? You stayed, is that right?
But I told him don't do it.
And after the photo shoot was concluded, you got the proofs back, right? And you selected 4 photographs. So far, am I right? And you were satisfied with them, you ordered them. Is that right?
I mean, you should...
Check. Do I look like I need help?
No, no.
Miss Fry, look at me.
Yes.
You ordered 4 pictures.
Yeah.
And you were satisfied with them. You told them they were very good, and so good you wanted more pictures, correct?
Yes.
If you had gotten your 7 pictures when you felt you should have gotten them, which was a couple of weeks ago, would I hear sexual harassment from you? Would I hear these allegations of sexual harassment from you?
Yes, because they were true. It happened.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
How many photographers have you been with?
Several.
Really? You seem to be a little bit naive to me on the situation. I'm sorry
for that.
Well, who are
you? You need to shut up and mind your own business.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Model Tanya Fry is suing photographer Sean Alexander over slides and alleged harassment.
Is what you're saying to me, you planned on suing him whether he gave you the pictures or not?
About the sexual harassment?
Yes. Is what you're telling me that you intended when you left,
right,
or a day later or 2 days later, whether or not you got these photographs, you intended to sue him for $2,000 for sexually harassing you?
Oh, no. I was not sure of what I was going to do about those sexual harassment
Well, what made you
charges.
sure?
I wanted to let them know what was done to me during a photo shoot.
No, what I'm asking you is, at what point did you become sure that you wanted to sue him for this sexual harassment? After you ordered the first set of pictures, before you ordered the first set of pictures, when you ordered the second set of pictures?
The second. That's when I found out that I could not get my slides or negatives when he told me he was not going to give them to me because he keep them for his record.
So you determined to sue him for this $2,000 for sexual harassment when he declined to give you the negatives. Is that correct?
When I didn't get all of my things.
Very good. Okay, you now have your photographs. Is that correct?
I have some of them.
No, you have all of them. You have all that you ordered, which were the 7 retouched large photographs. And you have the 4 that he originally gave you. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And you, sir, have been paid $175 for these.
Yes.
And you have been paid the $100 for the other 4.
Yes.
Correct? And you have been paid $250 for the photo shoot.
Yes.
Very good. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm sorry, Tanya, but I think, you went a little bit out of line.
No, I did
You know I did everything I could. You know I did everything I could. Okay? I think the judge saw the whole thing. This is just ridiculous, but I'm glad to solve it.
And now the next case.
All parties on Hanley versus Lewis. Step forward, please.
25-year-old landscaper Lawrence Handley says Richard Lewis set his shirt on fire to wake him up. Lewis says Handley had previously set off a firecracker at his feet.
Why in the world would you burn him with a cigarette lighter?
Well, it was kind of a practical joke. I wasn't intending to burn him. I was just intending to make his arm warm. It's just a gag, like a hot foot or something like that.
How old are you?
27.
Tell me how it happened.
We were waiting at my friend Scott's house here.
It was after a softball game.
A what?
A softball game.
Softball game.
And we were going to go out for a couple cocktails after the game. A few people were supposed to meet us there. I fell asleep while we were waiting.
Where, in the living room?
Yeah, in the living room, in a chair in his house. I woke up, I felt or smelt something burning on my arm, and I kind of hopped up, and my shirt was on fire. And I jumped out of the chair and, you know, started hitting my arm, and my arm was burned up, and I kind of looked around. I was in a daze. I'd just woken up, and I see him, and actually Scott was laughing too. I see him cracking up right next to me. Sort of found out that...
Did you ask him why he did that?
And he basically told me, oh, well, I was trying to, you know, get you or something like that, burn your arm or light your hair on fire or something ridiculous. Like, I don't know. I don't know. He was still laughing up a storm about it, and I wasn't too pleased, you know, so.
You still have a mark there?
Yeah, I do.
Can I see it, please? Step up.
Step up. It's smaller than it used to be, but it used to be about as big as a baseball.
How long ago did that happen?
4 or 5 months ago.
Did you see that, sir?
This is the first time I saw it when he showed it to you.
You want to see it? Sure.
Well, you want some damages for your stupidity.
Well, Your Honor, it's, you know, in all fairness, our group of friends, when someone passes out or goes to sleep, we play practical jokes on him before. I know for a fact that he's done it to other people, tie people's shoelaces together. I mean, that's why I have a witness to corroborate.
Tying their shoelaces together, sir, is a far cry from using a cigarette lighter and setting somebody on fire.
Well, I wasn't
intending
to light him on fire.
At age
That's the whole
27.
thing.
What were you trying
do you work?
Well, yeah, I do. You know,
Well, just
if I
a
start acting like I'm 27, I'm going to be 27. If I act like a kid, I'm going to be young for the rest of my life.
What kind of work do you do?
I sell copy work and graphics work to law firms, Overflow.
It's amazing.
That sounds like a pretty responsible position, sir.
It is.
So when do you take on this infancy that you do? Just on weekends?
I like to have fun. You know, in all fairness, too. In previous, I think it was last year on 4th of July, you know, he thought it was a cool gag to throw a firecracker at my girlfriend and I. And scared her pretty good. It pissed me off real good.
What?
And, you know, he just laughed it off and everybody laughed. And, you know, it was funny to him, you know.
Anybody get hurt?
No. But, you
I
know,
don't even know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking about either. He's talking about trying to be Peter Pan for the rest of his life.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's suing you for $2,500 because he said he got burned and it hurt and it got infected.
I have the shirt too, by the way.
Let me see it.
It's kind of
That's
dirty.
pretty scary.
I haven't washed it since then, but
It's pretty scary. Did you ever say I'm sorry?
Yeah, I did. You know,
no, he didn't.
When? Just a second. When did you say I'm sorry?
At the time, I mean, we were still laughing, so he probably didn't take it.
Who was laughing?
I was. Scott was as well.
I'm laughing too. $2,500 for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. Step out, please. I'll be back to your right.
On the next Judge Judy.
McConnell. All parties on Lake versus McConnell. Step forward, please.
46-year-old Donald Lake is suing 25-year-old supermarket checker Shannon McConnell, claiming she gave him the wrong change. Shannon says Lake was rude, and he got his money.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Now, this is number 62 on the calendar in the matter of Lake versus McConnell. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Lake, I am baffled by your lawsuit, so I am hoping, sir, that you are going to be able to explain to me why you believe that this young lady should give you $2,500.
As a consumer in a very aggressive area, retail grocery, as a consumer there where...
Why don't you tell me the story, sir?
The story is...
Yes, tell me about the lawsuit.
The lawsuit itself
Put your papers down, put your briefcase down, and just relax and tell me the story.
The story, which I have the physical evidence here, is that as a consumer, on Christmas Eve of last year, I entered with a companion at a certain grocery store in the San Diego County area. With that, and with my companion, we went through the cash-only line. My companion went first. She bought a couple of items. She was waiting right there on Christmas Eve for me to go through. Body language that she was ready to go, keys in her hand, tapping her foot. It was a very rush type of thing. I come in with one item in the cash line. I go ahead and confront the cashier with...
That's this young lady
yes,
here.
Ma'am. A person now, who I now know the first and last name of. At that time, she was wearing a name tag with just her first name and last initial. At that time, right here on the receipt...
You gave her your item. What did you buy, sir?
I bought one bottle of champagne.
Okay, you bought a bottle of champagne, and you gave her money.
Not only did I give her money, but before I gave her money, I said, I have two $20 bills and a 50.
Well, why would
Can
you say
Shut up!
Pardon me.
You gave her two $20 bills and a 50. And how much was the champagne?
You can see the attitude of
Shut
the
up.
store.
Hey, just a second. Mr. Lake, answer my questions,
Yes,
please.
ma'am.
How much was the bottle of champagne, sir?
The bottle of champagne with the tax and everything else came out to $4.30. I asked Ms. McConnell, can you break a 50? I told her I have two 20s and a 50. She said yes. I handed her a $50 bill, a quarter, and a nickel, $50.30 for a $4.30 purchase.
So what happened? Come on, speed
What
up the
happened
story.
was, with my companion waiting to go, rushing off for...
I heard the companion. What happened with the money and the champagne? Come on.
The money in the champagne is, I got the champagne, but I didn't get all the money.
Okay, so you say that she shortchanged you in the change. Is that right?
She went ahead and counted out $50 in cash
Yes.
as a count back. I grabbed it and the receipt, stuffed it in my pocket, and left. Very soon after, in the same part of town, I had another cash transaction. I got out my cash. The receipt read clearly, cash tended, $40.30.
Okay.
I went back within half an hour of making my purchase. I confronted her and I said, have you taken in any $50 bills recently? And she said, no. This is within minutes after the transaction.
Okay, so what happened? Come on.
What happened was that talking to various store officials, including one Dean Honda, and
You talked to people at the store.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you get your $10 back?
I got the $10 back after a lot of arguing, and I also got the corporate phone up here in LA County.
Mr. Lake, so you went in, you gave her money, you realized sometime later when you were making a purchase that she had given you, according to you, $10 less in change than you should have gotten. So
Yes.
far as that, make it fast?
Yes.
You went back to the store. At first, they didn't think that they had made a mistake, but ultimately that evening, they gave you the $10, correct?
After a lot of arguing, yes.
So you had a lot of arguing, whatever. That evening, they gave you back the $10.
That's correct.
So why are we here?
On principle. She still has her job. She has not, to the best of my knowledge, been reprimanded, and the store has tolerated outright theft. This is not my opinion. This is physical evidence. They tolerated outright theft. It's not my fault that she wanted some kind of a Christmas bonus on her own as an individual employee. In an industry that from the top constantly cheats consumers through price fixing, that store managers constantly take items off of sale on their computers. We have, in addition to that, employees working on their own, taking money out of my pocket. The principle of the thing is we have theft, we have denial of the theft, and we have zero cooperation from the corporation.
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions to ask
Yes, ma'am.
you. How many lawsuits have you filed with regard to this particular incident?
One.
And this is the only one?
Yes, ma'am.
Never filed any lawsuits against her because she has a counterclaim against you for a variety of things, including abusive process, which is really the basis of your lawsuit, although you don't couch it in that language. She says that you've sued her at various times, and she'll tell me about that. You've also slandered her, which you did right now. You said she was a thief.
And I stand by that.
May cost you money, Mr. Lake. You understand that?
I stand
Because
by
now
it.
I'm going to ask you some questions. Then I'll get to you. Okay, fine. It was Christmas Eve.
Yes, ma'am.
Store was busy?
Relatively so, yes.
And there were a lot of people online waiting, which is why you went to the cash line?
No, it was well staffed. They had a fair amount of employees waiting on people, so it was busy, but it wasn't real crowded, or there was not a long line.
Okay. And you came to her, and what you said to her was, I have two 40s or a $50 bill. Two 20s or a $50 bill.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, why would you say you had two 20s if the whole champagne was only $4?
I wanted to know, in the cash line,
yeah.
You know, I went through the cash line because I had one item in cash.
No, Mr. Lake, you're not following me, sir. If I had a 20 and a 50 and I was buying a $4 item, I might say, can you cash a 50? I have a 50 or a 20. Can you cash a 50? You told me that you said to her, I have two 20s and a 50.
Because I had just pulled it out and I was looking at it and communicating right off the cuff at that moment.
So what you did, what you're saying to me, Mr. Lake, is, since you must agree with me that that was sort of a silly thing to say, I have two 20s to pay for a $4 item or a 50. I mean, that was kind of ridiculous, right? Mr. Lake, is that kind of ridiculous to say I have two 20s to pay for a $4 item or I have a $50 bill?
That's the items that I pulled out. That's the cash I had on hand.
Well, who cares what cash you had? What if you had a $1,000 bill? She doesn't care what cash you had on hand. You had a 20 and a 50. You could have paid with either one.
I had a couple
So
of
can you
20s.
say, did you ever say I made a mistake? Did you ever say that in your life?
Often.
Very good. Well, so you made a mistake. You should have said, I just have a 20 and a 50. Can you cash the 50?
Well, if I had more time, if it wasn't a rush situation, maybe I would have.
Now we're getting there, Mr. Lake.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Do I look like I need help?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Shannon McConnell, a supermarket cashier, disputes Donald Lake's accusations that he was shortchanged.
So you made a mistake because it was rushed, because you were taking out your money fast, because you had somebody waiting for you, and there were a lot of people behind you waiting to get checked out. So you made a mistake. Why wouldn't you give this young lady, and I haven't heard from her yet, the benefit of the doubt? Why do you ascribe to her malevolence, criminal activity, when it could have been an honest mistake?
That's a very good question.
I'm waiting for your very good answer. Now you're taking time to think about it, Mr. Lake, because you're going to think about a good response to me.
I can tell you right now, two good responses.
Yes.
Response number one, she counted back $50, not 40, in her count back. Number two, a few minutes later, she denies ever having the $50 bill in the first place.
Okay,
And she said right then and there, oh, you know, if she'd apologized, if she would have helped me confer with the manager. I mean, up until I got the money back that night, she was fighting the manager. If she would have admitted her mistake, that would have been fine.
Mr. Lake, you don't think as a consumer you made a mistake by taking the money when she counted out the money and not looking at it? Not saying, I gave her a $50 bill, let me just check my change, instead of taking your change and just putting it in your pocket? Don't you have any responsibility to do that right at that moment?
Whatever responsibility I had with that, I took care of it as soon as possible.
No, you didn't. If you had taken care of it immediately while you were right there, you would have said, look, right, the bill right there on top, that 50 is mine. Instead, you walk out of the store after she counted out your money. Then you come back a half hour later after you've made another purchase someplace else and say, now, Christmas Eve, I want you to remember that I gave you a $50 bill. Hold it. Go.
From the beginning?
Well, if there's anything that he's left out from the beginning, I'd like to hear you.
Okay, when we went to the cash line, it was extremely busy.
How long have you been working at this store?
Since 1985. Well, not this particular store, for the company since 85. After I checked him out, I went on a 10-minute break. After I came back from the break, I went to another register. So when he approached me, he didn't ask me in a calm manner. He came up screaming a 20, a 10, and a 5, and a 1, saying that that's a change I gave him. Asked if he'd taken any 50s lately. Being that I had just returned from a break, maybe 10, 15 minutes, I was on a new register where his 50 would have been on the old register, so I didn't recognize him from the prior exchange, because they had been so busy. I had hundreds of customers that day. I didn't recognize him, so I thought the only thing that came to mind was maybe he was wanting a nice, clean $50 bill to give as a gift. So I was saying, I don't think so, but I can check. And as I'm saying, I can check, see if there's one in the drawer. That's when he started going, there's 20, a 10, and a 5, and a 1. And then at that point, the manager came over to see what the commotion was about. The manager did not argue. I did not argue because I didn't know what it was about. The manager took the receipt, said, you were short of $10. He said yes. He took him over to the courtesy desk. At that time, he just gave him the $10, no questions asked, really. It was a matter of minutes till he got his $10 back. And at that point, Mr. Lake took the $10, waving in the air, screaming, don't go through Shannon's line. She has my money. She'll take your money. Did you do that, sir?
Not all of those things.
Yes, sir.
I did some of them.
Ma'am, this is Jackie here.
Were you there that evening?
Yes, when her and I came back from our breaks, just coincidentally at about the same time, she opened up on the register right next to me, and the way our register is set up is her customers' backs are to me, and my back is to them. Okay, so I heard a 20, a 10, real loud, and I turned around, stopped checking, turned around, and looked at Shannon, and then he goes up to the service desk with the manager and gets his $10. He has it in his hand, waving it. She stole my money. I mean, Christmas Eve is the second busiest day of the year. I've been working there for 22 years. I've never seen anything like this before in my life, the whole time. And he was waving the $10, saying she stole it. The customers eventually, he was there for probably 5 to 7 minutes, yelling and carrying on in front of the store. So all of her fellow employees heard every check stand was open. All the customers were, it was very busy. Him saying it wasn't that busy, relatively. Anyway, so the customers finally started saying, we don't want you here. Go back to where you came from. We like our store. We like Shannon. And he left. That's how it was. I saw the whole thing. I stopped checking to watch it because I've never seen anything like it.
Shannon, how many times have you been to court with regard to this case?
This is my third time.
Tell me about the first 2 times.
The first time I went,
You were served with a summons?
Yes. I went.
What was he suing for that?
The first time was criminal and commercial theft, deceit, and fraud. That was the first one. I went there and Mr. Lake failed to appear. I thought that was the end of it. I thought maybe he realized that this was a ridiculous case, and that was it.
Which court did you go to?
San Diego, Claremont.
Does that sound familiar to you, sir, that you filed a case there?
Yes, it did, and she was not serviced.
Yes.
Just a second.
There was no service done.
I was there when he served the papers, and you did serve her, and you stood behind her and watched her check for about 10 minutes after you served her. You served her personally.
And
I stood
Just
there
a second.
watched you.
Just a second. And did you serve her?
No, I cannot serve. Service
Exactly.
must be done.
Hey, just listen to me. Just a second. You served her. You gave her the papers.
Yes, I did, and that is not service. Service must be a third party.
So why did you serve me?
Hey, do I look like I need help? Do I look like I need help?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're really ticking me off, sir. You're really ticking me off, sir.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donald Lake, the former educator, wants supermarket checker Shannon McConnell to pay for his trouble when he claims he was shortchanged at her supermarket.
Mr. Lake, so let me understand this, sir. You did, in fact, give her papers with regard to this first suit that she's talking about, but...
Yes, I did.
And what you're saying is that it's a question of semantics, because since you, as a party, cannot serve her, a third party must serve her. It was invalid service, and therefore she was not served.
Also, ma'am...
Am I right?
That's correct.
Good! Now,
And...
say nothing. You're really ticking me off, sir. You're really ticking me off, sir. So you didn't appear in that action because you say she wasn't served. Is that correct?
That's partially correct.
Did you appear in that action?
No, I did not.
Then I'm correct.
You're partially correct.
I'm always correct, sir. The question is, she went to court because she was given papers. She's not a lawyer. She doesn't know that if a third person doesn't serve, it's not considered good service, so she didn't want to be in default. She went to court, and you didn't.
Also, the paperwork was given to Shannon M. I was trying to find out her last name so that she could be serviced correctly.
All right, so now we have one lawsuit that you filed that you didn't follow through with, and she went. When was the next lawsuit?
The next one was 2 months later. We went again, and at that point, we found out that not only did he have my court case, he had 2 other cases in the courtroom next door. Obviously can't be in 2 courtrooms at one time, so he denied having the pro tem hear our case. So perhaps you could go to the other cases. So
Let me understand this so that I make it simple. When you showed up in court on the next court date after you were properly served, I assume, Mr. Lake, you had 3 actions pending on the same day. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you had to choose which case you would hear that day because you couldn't be in 2 courtrooms at the same time. So you said, I don't want a lay judge to hear my case. In her case, adjourn it to another day. Is that what happened?
No, ma'am.
Then let me hear.
I said I don't want a lay judge, a person who is not culpable to the performance review board on any of my cases. That is a constitutional right.
And this is the 3rd case, is that correct? Are you ready?
I think so.
Are you ready?
Judge Judy is ready to rule. Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Mr. Lake, in the year and a half that I've been handling cases in this court, I have never imposed the judicial sanction of fines for abusive process, fines that have been paid to the court for wasting court time. Now, I am dismissing your lawsuit because your lawsuit is frivolous. And not only is it frivolous, but this is the 3rd time that you have abused the people of this state by taking up judicial time and manpower in filing it. There is no question that there was, based upon what I've heard, an honest mistake. You, sir, are a suer, which means you like to sue people. And maybe you get off on that, but I'm telling you right now that the judicial system in this country will not tolerate those people who abuse it, because if you abuse it, people who have a real case can't get court time because the courts are clogged with this kind of frivolous nonsense. Now, say nothing, Mr. Lake. You already said too much. Now, with regard to this lawsuit, her counterclaim, I'm awarding you. You are asking for $1,400. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And I'm also going to exercise my discretion and award you $2,500. Wow. All right? And I am imposing sanctions, Mr. Lake, costs upon you that are to be paid to the court in the amount of $500 because you have abused me, and I resent it. Not only have you abused her, but I resent the fact that you have abused the court system. That's all.
Step out. I'll be back here to your right.
And on the next Judge
Kime versus McKay. Step forward, please.
Professional singer Jeanette Kime paid $8,000 to record producer Dan McKay, but never received her demo tape. He says he hasn't got it, so she wants her money back.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the court. All rise.
Judge, this is number 13 on the calendar in the matter of Kime versus McKay. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Kime, according to this, you're a singer, you have a band.
Yes.
You entered into an agreement, excuse me, with the defendant to produce some records for you, some songs,
That's
some
true.
of your songs. And you are, sir, a record producer,
Yes.
Mr. McKay. You went to his studio.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we met last summer through a mutual friend, and I heard some of his work. He was a really good producer. And so my band, when I discussed recording with him, we decided to record 4 songs together at $2,000 per song, including additional instrumentation besides my band and the production. So I paid him a total of $8,000.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And we recorded from the 10th through the 15th of August of 1996. It was sounding great, and at the end of the sessions on the 15th, I left the master tape with him. He was supposed to mix the tape. It was supposed to take 1 week. I had people waiting on this. I had like record companies that like have since think that I'm like insane for not having given them anything. And I called him about 5 days after we were done recording. Within that week, he said, give him an extra couple of... give him an extra couple of days, which I did, and then I called him back. When I called him back, when he told me to call him back, he was out of town.
Which was when?
He told me to call him back, he said in a couple of days. So I called him back in 2 or 3 days after that, and he was out of town. And then I called him and called him and called him and called him, and he left a message on my machine saying, come down and pick up the tapes. So I was like, okay, finally they're done. So then...
What was the date of that telephone message?
I don't remember the exact date. It had to be within probably a few weeks maybe after the tapes were supposed to be done. And so I tried calling him back to pick up the tapes like he said, and I could never get in touch with him. And then after that, it was like, it was just impossible to like pin him down. Okay, I'm coming down now. It was, oh, I'm leaving right now. I'm going out of town. I have to find the tapes, this and that. I'm very busy. And so I never got them. And frankly, Judge Judy, I don't think he even has the tapes anymore. I've heard rumors that he was
Don't tell me rumors. All right, Mr. McKay, you have her $8,000 and you have her tapes.
Well, she's right. I don't have her tapes anymore because I attempted, I mean, her version is that she called me all these times, but I attempted to call her, I attempted to get in touch with her. I called her.
Let's hear dates. She finished taping on the 15th of August.
On the 15th.
And did you do what you were supposed to do with the tapes?
Yes. Yes,
What
the
were you
tapes were
supposed
ready.
to do?
Mix them. She's finished recording.
Mixed, just for my purposes. I think I know what that means. You push a lot of
You blend
buttons.
everything together and make it sound like a record.
Okay.
You know, that kind of thing. But she...
So the 15th she was finished, and you finished mixing them when?
Oh, about 5 days later. But she had already called me like 2 or 3 times before I had even finished it. I told her, you know, I didn't say it was 2 or 3 days. I said it would be a week. And I did it under a week. And then when I was done, I did call her. And, you know, she took about a week to get back to me. Now, originally I told her...
Okay, let's say she took a week to get back to you. So what happened?
Well, I was involved in another project. That's what I was about to say. I told her I only had a space of about 2 weeks to do it, and that it had to be done or else I'd be gone.
So?
So I didn't hear anything before I left. And when I got back, I got all these crazy messages. You know, I'm flipping out. Where's my tape? Where's my tape? And,
But according to you, you had done the mixing already.
Yeah, at that point...
Okay, so you did the mixing already, and she called you frequently. You acknowledged that. Where are my tapes?
Yeah.
So you said come down and pick them up, I assume.
Yeah, I did. And I waited and waited. And
How long did you wait and wait?
Well, I had, I think it was like 4 days. I called the first call I made, and...
One call.
Shut! Go ahead.
Well, basically, I was home for 4 days, and I mean, I really don't have, it's not like a tape storage facility. I mean, if this was that important to her, she could have made it
Just a second.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
You just said you waited 4 days.
Yeah.
And then what did you do with the tapes?
Well, I work in a studio with some other people, and apparently someone misplaced the tape or used it for something else. And now I'm, you know, she's saying that I'm responsible.
Shut! Stop tapping the table.
Okay.
Just a second, Mr. McKay. You had her tapes for 4 days. You said evidently you work in a studio. Somebody either took them, misplaced them, or taped over them. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So, whose fault is that?
Well, I think it's her fault because I tried to get in touch with her, and I mean, you know,
You think it's her fault? I mean, are you looking at me straight in the eye and saying to me, I held on to the tapes for 4 days, and then somebody lost them or misplaced them or taped over them, and it's her fault? 4 days?
No, it's not 4 days. This is in addition to the earlier time.
So how much time? We talking about 2 weeks?
No, I think this is almost three weeks to a month now.
Oh, well, so let's talk about 3 weeks to a month. 3 weeks to a month. She's calling. You say she's calling all the time. You tell her to come in. She didn't come in for 4 days. That's what you originally told me.
Well, yes. I mean, I had no
Mr.
intention of
McKay,
that.
look into my eyes, sir. Right here. Are you standing there as a business person and telling me that somebody either misplaced them, took them, or taped over them, and it's not your responsibility?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're insane.
Okay,
You're insane.
okay,
You are insane.
And later today,
He's suing me for my equipment.
cases, real people, Judge Judy. Record producer Dante McKay says he no longer has singer Jeanette Kime's demo tape, so she wants her $8,000 back.
Is that what you're really, as a business person who's trying at your youthful age to build up a career in your industry, trying to tell me whether it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks or even 4 weeks, she paid you $8,000? You have a responsibility to maintain those things.
It was not my intention to ever have those tapes disappear at that point.
But they did. And they were under your control. They weren't under her control.
She had control of getting to the studio. I mean, does she not have control of getting herself to get them?
Mr. McKay. She hadn't abandoned this project, according to you. She called you all the time. As a matter of fact, she was called and making a nudnik out of herself at the beginning, according to you, because she called even before the week that you said you would need to mix these things. And you said, I told you it would be more than just a couple of days. Isn't that what you just told me?
Yes.
So what makes you think that she abandoned this property, which is what you suggest in your answer to me?
I thought my feeling is that she didn't take the project seriously. It wasn't just this, but other things.
Mr. McKay, everybody takes $8,000 seriously.
Well, now she does. Now she does, because she realizes, but I don't think she realized then when I asked her to come down and pick up the tapes.
Mr. McKay, on what date did you tell her to come to pick up the tapes, sir?
I don't have exact dates.
Well, you need exact dates, sir, in order to satisfy me, if you want to convince me of your position. You need exact dates, sir.
Well, I don't have an exact date. I mean, I could tell you, I know it was before the first of the month, because I had to do a project on the first of the month.
1st of September?
Yes.
Which is 15 days later that you called and told her to come down to pick up the tapes,
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Were you looking at the tapes at the time?
Yes.
You were looking at them?
Yes.
And when did you realize that they were no longer there?
Well, she went at some point while I was gone.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's a studio, as I said, there's other people there. I told her to come and get them when I was there. I told her if she wanted to get them when I wasn't there, that's fine.
What date did you go to get the tapes and found that they weren't there?
It was, let me see. Well, I never actually went there. I called the studio to say I was coming by to pick them up, and that's, you know, like I was, you know, I don't know.
You have to,
I don't remember exactly.
Talk English. You have to tell me. You don't.
I don't remember the exact date that I had made the arrangements.
This is what I'm talking about.
Well, no,
Was it in-
no.
Was it in September?
No, I believe that it was before September. It was before September.
But it wasn't any later than September?
No.
Well, if you didn't finish this until August 15th,
it was
finish the project.
I would say late August, because he had called.
It certainly wasn't in October, or November, or December. You didn't leave the property there for 6 months.
No.
All right, Mr. McKay, how old are you, sir?
27.
And how long have you been in this producing business of records?
A while, 8 to 10 years.
How long? What's a while?
8 to 10 years, I'd say.
Since you were a teenager.
Yeah.
You only have one thing in business, and that's your reputation.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
People like Mr. McKay, have to be put in their place. That's what I think.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Somebody has to take a hit for this money. It is not sensible, sir, for somebody to have invested their time and given you $8,000, which you acknowledge, and for them to, within giving you the benefit of every doubt, 6 weeks, the whole month of September and half a month of August, abandon this project so that you feel comfortable about erasing the tapes, which, by the way, is what you swore to in your answer, that you erased the tapes. You didn't say they were lost. So this wasn't true in your answer. You don't know whether they were erased. They're just not there anymore.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, you understand that the limit of the jurisdiction of this court is $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that?
Yep.
And I assume that you've come to this court because in order to retain counsel, etc., it would have been much more expensive.
Yeah.
So, she is absolutely entitled to her money back, sir. Absolutely. I'm going to suggest to you that as long as you're in a business, the only thing you have is your good name. And if there's a mistake made, what you're supposed to do is fess up right away so that it's not besmirched in an industry. That's a good lesson, and you're young enough to take that lesson to heart. The judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000.
Awesome. Parties are excused. You may step out.
This is not about a legal matter. This is just revenge, vindication against me because, you know, I don't know.
Okay, $8,000 doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just because I care so much about you that I would like do this just to harass you, just to have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You're insane.
Okay.
You're insane.
Okay,
You are.
23-year-old Erin King is suing her former roommate, 21-year-old Avian Moses, for stopping payment on a rent check. Avian claims Erin kicked her out after 2 weeks of living together.
Ms. King, the defendant was your roommate for a short period of time. It is your claim that she moved out after an argument that you had, and she put a stop payment on her rent check.
Yes.
You want your rent.
Right.
And the defendant says that you kicked her out of the apartment, and therefore she doesn't have to pay you any rent. Ms. Moses, you moved into Ms. King's apartment?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I moved in approximately August the 4th, I believe, around the beginning of August.
Was it August 4th?
August 5th.
And you knew each other before?
Yes, we did.
Through college.
What was the rental arrangement?
The rental arrangement was that we would both split the rent equally, $305, including utilities. She was supposed to pay me on the 3rd of each month.
So far, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
When did she move out?
She moved out November the 14th.
Had she paid you November's rent?
Well, she wrote me a check when I went to the bank to cash it.
That's the rent check that she stopped payment
Right,
on.
and I have that as
okay.
well.
So that was November 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So far you were in the apartment from November the 3rd to November the 14th.
Yes.
So you should have paid rent.
Yes.
On what date did you give her the rent?
Probably the 7th. It was after the time that I was supposed to give it to her. Oh, yes, ma'am, the 7th.
Why were you late with your rent?
Well, a week before that, my purse had gotten stolen, and I didn't have a bank card. I had to change all my accounts, and during this time when I was changing the numbers and all, getting everything straight, I informed Erin of this. I said, I don't have a checkbook, I don't have a bank card. I said, can I just pay you next week once my accounts are in order? She said, yes, no problem. I said, I'll pay you a late fee. She said, okay, no problem, and I did so.
You paid her the rent?
Yes, and a late fee.
Which you owed her?
Yes.
And the late fee?
Yes.
Now, why did you stop payment on the check?
Me and Erin had been having problems living together for about a month. She was in an abusive relationship. It was constant fighting in the apartment. Her boyfriend would come over, get high, smoke weed, hit on me. She'd leave him in there. She gave him a key to the apartment. She would constantly fight with me over food, saying I was stealing from her. We got into a physical altercation, and I decided this was the last straw. She was not on the lease and to get out of her house. So I said, gladly, I'll stop payment on my rent check, and I'll leave your house immediately.
Well, you can't do that. A, you didn't tell her you were stopping payment on the rent check.
I did tell her I was stopping payment on my rent check.
Really? No.
She
You didn't
called
even
me.
say that in your answer, that you told her you would leave
She called
immediately.
me that same day, and I told her I was stopping payment on my rent check and I was moving out.
You may have told her that after she called you on the phone, but when you had the argument with her in the house...
No, she told me to leave. She told me this was her apartment and to leave.
On the phone or in person?
No, and when we had our physical altercation.
I understand that. You're not putting on your listening ears.
I'm sorry.
At the time you had this altercation and this argument, you did not say to her, I'm putting a stop payment on the rent check. According to you, you told her over the phone that you were putting a stop payment on the rent.
I apologize for not mentioning that, but I did tell her at the point when we were after the physical altercation, the police that came, I told her that I was leaving and I was stopping payment on my rent check.
Well, you can't.
Okay.
You can't. Unless, of course, she changed the locks.
Yes, that's exactly what she did.
When did you change the locks?
I changed the locks on the 14th. That was because she had been going through my belongings. She had actually stole from...
Just a second. You can't change the locks and ask for rent at the same time.
Well, I actually changed the locks after she did the stop payment on the check. After they gave me the check back from the bank, I went to the
That's
bank
not correct.
on the 11th. They told me at the bank I need to take this check back to Ms. Moses. They couldn't tell me why because it was concerning her account. After I left the bank, I said, Avian, I just left the bank. They gave me the check. She said, I'm not paying you anything. I'm moving out.
That's not correct.
And so after that, I later discovered that she had been in my room while I was out of the apartment.
Ms. King, can't have it both ways. If you change the locks on the apartment, making it impossible for her to come back to the apartment. You can't charge her for rent for the entire month.
She did come back to the apartment. After we got into the argument on that Sunday, the police came.
Who called the police?
She did. Even though she started the altercation, she was threatening me with an alcohol bottle, saying that she was going to hit me upside my head with it. While the police was there, I said, it's fine. She can stay, you know, for the next 3 weeks. It won't be any problems. She left that Sunday. She actually came back that Monday and spent the night, even after she told me that she was moving out, and she had started to move her stuff out.
When did she finally move the last bit of property out of the house?
She didn't finish moving out because after I had the locks changed, I called her and I let her know that I had the locks changed and to call me and make arrangements to get the rest of her belongings. I guess she was angry because I had the locks changed, and she said, well, you're stealing my property. She was with her mother. I said, no, you can come in and get your stuff. I even gave her mother a futon cover that was in the living room and a financial aid paper. I guess, you know, it has her financial information. I kept telling them, please come in and get the rest of your stuff. I even, you know, gave them that. I wasn't.
When did she take it out, or did she still not?
She left after I gave her mother the futon cover and the Norfolk State financial aid booklet. They said, we don't want the rest of the stuff. We're leaving, and they left it. And so she left a bed, a dresser,
Did you leave
clothing.
a bed and a dresser there?
Yes.
Ma'am, because yes, I did, because she wouldn't allow me to get it.
Oh,
She
well,
changed
you
the locks.
didn't, listen to me. You didn't sue her, did you, for your stuff?
Yes, I did. The court ordered her to give it back to me, and I didn't get it back until January the 1st of 2007.
Oh, so you did sue her. This is
Yes,
not
I
the
did.
first time you've been in small claims court.
No, ma'am.
Really? I got it. Miss King, you're only entitled to half a month's rent. Change the locks, but you're entitled to half a month's rent. $152.50.
Okay.
Right? That's what your half a month's rent is.
Yes.
And that's what you offered to pay her.
Yes, I did. She said she didn't want it.
$152.50. Absolutely right. That's all. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Claudia Blanco says ex-boyfriend Rene Trujillo owes for illegally repossessing her car. Rene is countersuing, claiming Claudia's negligence ruined his credit.
Miss Blanco, Mr. Trujillo was your boyfriend.
Yes.
Your complaint alleges that he co-signed for a car for you.
Yes.
The car was titled in his name?
And mine.
But he was on the loan?
Yes.
You couldn't get credit?
Both of us were on the loan.
But you couldn't get credit yourself?
Yes.
You broke up. And the agreement, when he agreed to co-sign for you, from what I understand, was as follows. He would co-sign for you, and you would make regular payments on the car, timely, that you would maintain insurance on the car, that you would pay for his cell phone, maintain his cell phone. Anything else, sir?
Medical insurance.
And keep him on your medical insurance, pay for his medical insurance.
Yes.
That was in exchange for him obligating himself on the car loan. You broke up. According to Mr. Trujillo, you were late in many of your car payments, which damaged his credit.
Yes.
In addition, although he doesn't say it, you do, you canceled his cell phone and canceled his medical insurance.
In January of 2007, yes. This year.
Whatever. You canceled his medical insurance. There was no time limit on this contract.
It wasn't really an agreement that I was going to pay his cell phone insurance. It was more of a blackmail, and I have emails to prove that.
What do you mean? Just a sec. I'll see you in a second. But it's my understanding, even from you, in your complaint, that we came to an agreement, this is what you swore to, that he would co-sign my car for me, and I would pay for his cell phone plan along with adding him to my medical insurance. That's what you say.
Yes.
So you canceled his cell phone and you canceled his medical insurance. You fell behind in your car payments, and he repossessed the car and turned it back in. Is that what you did with it, or are you driving it?
I currently have the car.
You currently have the car, and
Yes.
you've made up the car payments.
Right, I write it up to date.
You want all the money that you put into the car.
Not necessarily all the money, the down payment that I put into and the payments, some of the payments that I did, and for insurance and the cell phone bill that I did remove them from it, but it wasn't really an agreement. And I have emails that show that it was more of, if I take them off, that the car deal would be done and deal with.
Well, that's true. You know, you don't understand, Miss Blanco. If you made that agreement with him when he co-signed for the car for you, which is what you say in your complaint, and you subsequently break up. So you get the dates. When did you break up?
In September of 06.
And when was the car purchased?
July 22nd of 06.
And when did you take him off the cell phone?
The cell phone, I took him off in this February of 07.
And when did you cut him off of your health insurance?
They didn't cancel that until August 31st of this year, after he took the vehicle and everything.
When did you cancel him from the health insurance? Not when they took him off. When did you cancel
When
him?
I told him June of this year.
June?
Of 07.
And he repossessed the car?
June 10th.
Which he lied about repoing the car. He did not tell me anything.
He doesn't have to tell you anything. How many times were you late on car payments?
4 times. But I have proof from VW that I called them, everything, we stayed in touch.
I don't care whether you stayed in touch. What does that mean, Ms. Blanco, that you stayed in touch?
Because they cut my hours from work. It was very unexpected. On March 10th, we had a meeting and they told us, hey, we're cutting hours by Monday. I went from working 40-plus hours to 32 hours. There was no way I could come up with the money. I was trying my hardest to get a second job, and Renee knew about this. He knew that I was trying to get a second job. I kept in touch with him. I only paid $110 this time.
Ms.
We're going to do it.
Blanco, you have to be a grown-up, sweetheart.
I was
Listen
now.
to me. You can't visit your problems on him. The fact that you were working with Volkswagen and they don't want your old car back, they want to work with you as long as they're going to get their money, right? That's one thing. That doesn't mean it's not reported to his credit as the co-signer. The fact that you lost hours impacted on him.
He
you
knew
understand that.
I understand
That's his
that.
complaint, because he has a counterclaim. He says you ruined his credit because for 4 times, and I don't care if it was 4 times or 3 times or 2 times, if you don't make your car payment on time, the people who were responsible on that loan are going to be penalized. That was him. He has an absolute right to repossess the car for that alone. In addition to the fact that you had a contract with him, a verbal contract, he would obligate himself on the car if you would maintain him on his cell phone and your insurance. Well, after a while, you're not his girlfriend anymore. You say, I'm going to cancel that cell phone. I don't want to pay for a cell phone, but he's calling other people, and I don't want to pay for his health insurance anymore. I'm canceling it.
It wasn't out of a malicious act to
Doesn't have to be
remove him.
It doesn't have to be malicious. That was your contract with him.
But it wasn't a contract.
Yes, it was. That's what you said. You
I
said
have
it
emails
was an
from him.
agreement. We came to an agreement that he would co-sign my car for me and I would pay for his cell phone along with adding him to my health insurance. You want me to see what you signed?
I know. I circled that agreement part. It wasn't...
That's what you signed.
I know.
That's what you swore to.
It wasn't an
That's what you
agreement,
said happened. That's what he says happened. You
It
may not
wasn't
want to
it's-
revisit that now.
Your Honor, there's an email here that shows the only reason I kept that going was because
she
of
doesn't
this.
understand that the email is going to support exactly what I said. Yeah, he says to you, you keep me on your insurance and your cell phone plan, and we'll keep the same car deal. That's what he says.
But it wasn't the car deal. The reason why it says car deal is because when we first signed up for the car, we signed up on July 22nd. A couple days after that, the guy that we did the car loan with called us in and said, hey, we have a better interest rate for you. If you come in, we could redo the contract. So I got sick a couple days after that, so we couldn't go right away. I had surgery, everything was fine. We went back and redid the contract, but before we redid the contract, we got into an argument, and I said, you know what, we have to take this out of my name, or out of your name, put it into my own name, now that, this is not how it's supposed to be. And in that email it says,
Ms. Blanco, was the car in both your names?
Yes.
Was the loan in both your names?
Yes.
Do you have proof, sir, that your credit score went from one thing to another?
I do.
Can I see it, please?
Sure. This is the before and the after with the credit scores highlighted.
I have the proof of, or not proof, but when we first co-signed the car, they did a credit check on us, and I have the credit score that they gave us on his and
Not
mine.
us, him.
And mine. Both of ours.
Just his.
Oh, you want
What
his?
was his?
His was 776.
Now it's 630. Now it's 630, based upon your 4 late payments. Now, is this a new car?
Yes.
You know, when you walk out of the showroom, the car is diminished by 20%?
Yes.
So he had to take over a car that was now worth 20% less because you ruined his credit, in addition to cutting off his cell phone and insurance. Forget that. So you don't get anything for that, Ms. Blanco? Nothing.
This
You should
is
have
not,
kept
it wasn't an agreement. I know that says in its agreement, but when we were signing it upstairs, I circled it and said it wasn't really an
Listen,
agreement.
whether it was or it was not, you cannot ruin the co-signatory's credit rating because you
understand that.
had a problem with your job. That's not his problem.
He knew that, and we were trying. We both wanted to make payments on it, but they didn't take credit card. And I tried
Ms.
my hardest to get a second job.
Crying. Did you buy a new car?
No, I have not.
Why not?
I'm saving up for it.
Good. That's what you should have done.
Payments.
That's what you should have done.
And that's what we wanted to do, and I wanted to do, and I have proof that I tried my hardest to get my car to pass smog so that I didn't have to get a new car. Chucky was also there as when I was searching for a new car. I did not want payments whatsoever, and he convinced me to get a new car and get payments.
You are a very strong young lady, and you don't seem to me like somebody who's shy. You got into difficulty. He had a right to take back the car.
Not the way he did, though.
Listen.
I was at work, Your Honor.
I'm not saying he was Prince Charming. He had a right to take back the car.
But I was at work, Your Honor, when he came, and I had lunch with my boss, and he just took the car. He did not warn me. After lying about having the spare key.
I'm not the moral police, Ms. Blanco. I'm here to decide a legal issue. The legal issue is, did he have the right to take the car? Absolutely. Did he have the right to sell the car? Absolutely. Does he have the right to keep the car and make the payments? Absolutely. That is his prerogative, because you ruined his credit. You have no right to do that. You have to be a big grown-up girl and not say, because I lost my job, I had surgery, I had other things that happened to me, and I this and I have that. It's not my fault. He took the car the way I was having lunch with my boss. He didn't give me notice. You breached the contract to make the payments in a timely manner. May not have been of your own volition. It may have been because, I don't know, the sky was falling and henny penny and whatever other reason it was, but that can't impact on him. He's not your boyfriend anymore. He's not your boyfriend. He's not your father. He's not your brother. He has no moral obligation to you whatsoever. Now, you're driving the car, sir?
No, it's currently garaged at my mother's house.
Why?
Because I have nowhere to put it at. I go to San Francisco State, and I have no
Well,
garage
who's going to drive the car?
My mom's driving it right now.
Oh, your mom's driving it. Good. So you have a nice car, right?
Right.
Good. So what are you complaining about?
By the time I sell the car to my supervisor here, I will have lost $5,000.
Well, you should have sold it to Hasuna.
She's going to apply for a loan.
You should have sold it to Hasuna. That's not her problem. That's your problem.
Okay.
You took back the car. Car is in good running order.
Yes.
And now you're paying for it, and you're going to sell it to somebody else.
To her.
And right now your mother's driving it.
Right.
Very nice. Your counterclaim's dismissed.
Okay.
So is your claim. You're not entitled to any money back. That's all. Thank you. Thank you.
Crystal Kim says former roommates Marcus Thompson and Darian Harris won't return her furniture. Crystal also claims that Darian attempted to sexually assault her.
Miss Kim, how long have you known the defendants?
About a year.
And there came a time when you moved into an apartment with them. They already had the apartment.
Correct.
And when was that?
June 1st, 2007.
Did you have your own bedroom?
Yes, I did.
And you were supposed to pay rent?
That was not the agreement.
You going to live there free?
No.
Well, either you live there free or you pay rent.
What the agreement was if I were to move in, I would pay for utilities, I would pay for gas, I would pay for the cable, I would pay for the internet, the phone.
So you were going to pay all the utilities?
We shared the gas, and then I paid the majority of everything else, correct?
Is that your agreement?
No, that was not the
What was
verbal.
the agreement?
The agreement that we had when Crystal moved in with us, it was correct for internet, phone, cable, and some grocery.
Okay. When did you move out, by the way?
January 15th, 2008.
And I assume you have proof that you paid all those expenses while you were living there?
Yes.
Great. So that was the agreement. She wasn't going to pay rent. Phone, cable, internet, and buy groceries.
Yes.
Your claim is that when you moved in, you bought some furniture, and they were supposed to pay you back for their 2/3 of the furniture. When you moved out on January 15th, 2008, you left the furniture there, and they refused to pay you for it, and they had never paid you for it. The defendants say that you did not pay rent. You used the word rent while you were there. You lived there for 9 months, and they're keeping the furniture. That's your defense.
Yes.
You also claim that one of these two young men assaulted you.
Yes.
And you want to be compensated for that harassment. So I'd like to see your checks for the phone bill, the cable, and the internet from June until January.
All the transactions were done in cash.
Then just give me the receipts.
I have the receipt of the furniture that was purchased on my
I'm not
credit
interested
card.
in the furniture. Listen to what their defense is. Their defense is that you lived there free for 9 months, and they let you live there free without paying these expenses that you were supposed to pay because you had purchased furniture. Am I reading your defense correctly?
Yes.
I mean, is that true? Pay the phone bill.
She did.
And she paid for groceries?
That was breached.
When?
That was breached the second month that she was there. She Crystal purchased groceries 2, maybe 3 times at the most. And then it became a situation where she just purchased food for herself. And I also want to add that she was only...
Just a second. Did you have that discussion with them?
No. I moved in, I paid for groceries for everybody, everybody was fed. It got to a point where after a while I was never even there. I was working 2 jobs, I went to school full-time, I was never home to eat, I was never home to go grocery shopping. The agreement when I moved in was nothing about groceries at all.
Well, you already told me you bought food for everybody.
I did, but I just help out.
But that was your agreement, that was your rent, Miss Kim. That was your rent, whether you were eating there or not. Then you should have gone back and said to them, listen, we have to redo this agreement because I'm not here and I'm not eating. So I don't want to buy groceries. I have a bedroom. I'll pay something towards the rent on the house or the apartment, but I'm not going to buy groceries because I'm not eating here.
I also gave them money for rent.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh, fine. You didn't tell me that. You told me you didn't give them money for rent.
The agreement was I didn't have to pay rent, but I still did.
How much did you pay them?
Whatever they asked me. One time they wanted $200, next month they wanted $100. Our rent was only $500, so it was split between 4 people.
Who was the 4th?
My girlfriend, well, she was a girlfriend, her name is Tiffany.
Did she give you money?
No, I personally never witnessed or accepted rent money from Crystal. And just a quick point, Crystal came home every night. It was never a night when she ever didn't come home.
Did you ever accept any cash from her?
In situations where we needed help with the utilities, never for rent. Rent was always handled by Darian and I.
Whatever it was, you accepted cash from her?
Small deposits, Your Honor.
Whatever. All right, you have to give the furniture back. Do you understand? Furniture goes back to her. You cannot have a loose kind of arrangement like this and expect somebody else to figure out. You're supposed to have a contract. It doesn't always have to be in writing. It should be in writing.
Yes.
But you have to have a contract. You pay $40 a week, plus your own phone. You pay $200 a month, plus a quarter of the utilities. You can't have this nebulous arrangement and then expect me to figure it out. Do you understand?
Yes.
Put your hand down. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Perfect. So she's getting her furniture back 5 days.
They've damaged the furniture.
Listen, you shouldn't have left it there any longer than you had to. 5 days from today, you get your furniture back. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. Put your hand down.
Okay.
5 days from today, she gets her furniture back. Do you understand?
Yes.
Now, you want to give me this assault in 30 seconds or less? Now, Miss Kim, you want to give me this assault in 30 seconds or less?
Sure. One night, Friday night, October, we went out to a bar. Probably 9 o'clock, we all got home from work. We all went, we had a couple of drinks, we came home, and we watched a movie. When I fell asleep, we all fell asleep. Marcus and Tiffany decided to go into the bedroom and go to bed, where Darian waited outside for me.
Who's Darian?
That's me.
Go ahead.
I woke up, it was 7 a.m. He was on top of me, one hand down, unbuttoning my pants, another trying to touch the upper part of my breast.
And?
I eventually woke up. I pushed him off.
So you pushed him off, and?
I ran into my bedroom.
And that was in October?
That was October. I locked myself in my room.
Yeah, and?
Called my girlfriend, didn't know what to do.
And?
I stood there overnight, waited till everyone woke up. I grabbed Marcus, talked to Marcus, and asked him what I should do. And he told me, he's like, I'll be behind you 100%, but
you lived there October, November, and December. Are you telling me that you didn't speak to, what's your name?
Darian.
Darian?
No, we spoke.
October, November, and December?
We spoke.
Did you tell him that his advances were uncalled for and unwarranted?
Yes, and he apologized.
And you stayed there? And did you have any trouble with him after that?
I did.
Tell me.
He basically, he thought that he could do whatever. He made me feel uncomfortable.
Who cares what he made you feel uncomfortable? Getting your furniture back. Stop with the nonsense. He made unwanted advances. He apologized. Everybody had a little too much to drink. You were on the couch? Were you on the couch?
Yes, I was on the couch.
Shouldn't have done it. Stopped. Didn't assault you in any way. Didn't
touching my breast.
Didn't.
And getting down my pants is...
Did you call the police?
He told me not to.
Did you call the police?
No, I didn't.
Did you stay there for 3 months?
Yes.
Goodbye, Miss Kim. You get your furniture back.
Damian Cecere says he helped friend Amy Brown with a loan to get started in a vitamin selling business. Damian claims Amy has yet to pay him back.
Pronounce your last name for me.
Cecere.
Mr. Cecere, I want you to understand that I have some familiarity with the kind of business that you're in. Do you want to explain it to Bert, or would you like me to do it?
The nature of the business?
Yes.
Essentially, I have my friend Ronald here who has been in the business for 12 years, and he...
Ronald doesn't have to explain it.
Okay.
I'm going to, in very simplistic terms, explain it to Bert. You tell me if I'm wrong.
All right.
Simple. You have this vitamin bottle, because that's what they sell, vitamins. And Ronald, that's this guy over here, he's been in the business 12 years. He sometimes sells these vitamins. But what he does mostly is get other people under him who sell vitamins. And depending upon at what level they buy in, they could buy in with $500 or $1,000 or $2,000, they get product. He brings him in. Mr. Sincere over here buys $5,000 worth of product. He gets a piece of that.
Sure.
So it's like slavery, you know. What you do is he brings in, what's your first name?
Damien.
He brings in a lot of Damiens. Damien 1, Damien 2, Damien 3, Damien 4. And whatever Damien orders from the business, not sells, but orders from the business, Ronald gets a piece of.
Multi-level marketing.
Correct. Now, so then it inures to Damien 1 through 5. They say, listen, we want to be Ronald too.
Of course.
So we're going to see if we can get, what's your name?
Amy.
A whole bunch of Amy's under us to buy as much product as he can, because they get a piece of whatever Amy buys.
Of course. And
And
him
they
too.
also, and so does Ronald.
That's right.
Because Ronald gets a smaller piece of Amy, but he still gets a piece of Amy. And then, what's your name?
Davey.
What's your name?
Cody.
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 I want to get a whole bunch of Codys because that's the way I'm going to make my money. And he's going to get a little piece of Cody, and he's going to get a smaller piece of Cody, but everybody's going to get a piece of Cody. That's the way the game works.
Oh, yeah.
Got it?
That's right.
Pretty much. Now, you also reach certain levels in this business, because if you're a master, or if you're a guru, or if you're a titan, or if you're an Ogatunji, whatever it is, what happens is they give you perks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you get perks in your business, like a car?
If you get high enough, you do.
Ah!
Yeah,
You
I'm not
think,
there
you think
yet.
this
but-
is a scheme that I haven't been through a couple of times in my life?
No, I didn't say that.
All right, I got it. So if you get up really high, if you get to be a Grandmaster Ungatunji, they give you a BMW.
Of course.
Or they give you a Mercedes. So there are advantages for Ronald to get a whole bunch of Damiens, and for Damiens to get a whole bunch of Amy's, and for Amy's to get a whole bunch of Cody's, because in addition to getting the money, you also get the perks. That's the drill. Now, Damien over here got Amy involved in the business, and she bought inventory. How much worth, sir?
It was worth $5,000.
What are you asking him for? The questions are going to get harder.
Oh my. I think it was worth about $5,000, and he actually put up $3,300.
Okay, but you put up the money for her
Yes, I did.
on your credit card
Yes, I did.
because you were hoping that she was going to do well in the business, and she wasn't such a good salesperson. And she couldn't find a Cody if she killed herself. She couldn't find a Cody. So you ended up getting stiffed for your money.
Correct.
And she sent back some of her product,
Right, some of it.
but you want, because you're stuck with the bill now, because you're not a Grandmaster Ogatunji yet.
Right.
There isn't any such thing as a
There
Grandmaster
may be, I'm not that high
Ogatunji,
up,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I sort of made that up because it sounded funny. So you want her to pay you the money. Miss Brown says you gave her all kinds of sales pitch. You told her she was going to make a fortune, that there were Codys floating around under every rock, that she was going to be able to sell these vitamins, that they were the greatest thing since sliced bread. And she couldn't do it because she was no salesperson. And since you didn't help her, she sent back the product that she hadn't used. If you have the bill, that's your problem. Okay, we have certain things that we understand. We understand that he bought in for $3,300 and put it on his credit card. That is an agreed state of fact. It is also agreed that you agreed to pay him back that money for starting you in this business. This was going to be your business. You were going to be a grand female Ugatunja. Didn't work out. Wasn't your thing. So what did you do?
I asked for his help several times.
How did you do that?
Either phone conversations or via email.
And what did he say to you?
Usually it was, yeah, we need to get together and talk about this, which never happened. And after so many attempts, I just sent all the product back.
And what did he say?
He was fine with it as far as I knew. I told him I was going to do it, and he said he understood.
So, when did he decide to sue you?
I just was served about 2 weeks ago.
When was this that you sent back the product?
Believe it was May or June of 2006.
So why did you wait to sue her, sir? Is not an answer.
Okay. I wanted to work with Amy to give her an opportunity to pay back the remaining balance.
Well, had you asked her for it?
Of course.
How many times did you ask her for the balance?
Numerous. Both on the phone, and then when she started not returning my phone calls, our relationship was degraded. And I have in emails that she said she would indeed pay back the remaining balance.
Can I see it, please?
May I say something else, Your Honor?
Yes.
I absolutely did make every attempt to not only talk to Amy on the phone, but to get together with her, to involve her in opportunity meetings. Ronald also met her in Anaheim for a meeting. I feel like we put forth a very fair and aggressive effort to assist her with this.
It is clear to me that over the course of several months, you agreed to pay him.
And I agreed to make payments.
So why didn't you?
Because at the time I had lost my job, I was laid off, and I just bought my condo. And
you just bought your condo?
I just bought a condo, and then I was laid off, and then I was trying to get caught up with my other bills, which were a priority.
Well, then you acknowledge this debt to him.
A portion of it.
Well, which portion of it, madam?
I agreed to, okay, he had agreed to help me with.
Listen, we're beyond that. We had agreed to help you. Now I have emails where you clearly acknowledge the debt, which belies what you told me, that he breached his contract to help you, which is why you don't have to pay him. So now we know that you agreed to pay him. So I'm asking you why. Is it because you bought a condo?
No, the condo was prior to even meeting him.
Well, so what does that have to do with paying him back?
Well,
for your business?
no, I had been laid off, and that's when I met him, and he convinced me to do this so that I could make money. Then
it didn't work out, and you returned the product, and you still said, I'm going to pay you. So what stopped you?
Well, I didn't agree with the amounts that he was saying I owed him.
Well, how much do you say you owe him? That's where I started 5 minutes ago.
Okay, I believe I owe him maybe $1,000 just based on the portions of it that I was able to sell.
Well, how much did you sell?
Maybe a couple $100 worth to just...
Where are your records?
There's no record. I mean, you sell the container to people for cash.
What do you mean, you sell it for cash and then you don't report it to anybody? Not even the government? How do you expect to pay your taxes?
I don't know. This is something he was supposed to help me with.
He's not supposed to help you with that. This is your business.
Well, this is what he promised to help me with. I have the emails where he stated he promised to help me as well.
How much product? $3,300. How much product did she send back?
She returned $699.30, which was credited to my credit card. And she gave me a personal check for $300.
And you cashed it?
Of course.
Good.
Also, Your Honor, originally I gave Amy a can, 2 cans of product, which I said you can pay me back for. Just give me the same cans once you get your order, and she never did. So I had added that in as well.
You're going to have to live with that, sir, Damien.
Okay.
So she returned $700 worth of product, bringing it down to $2,600, and she gave you $300, leaving a grand total of $2,300.
And they've actually prorated that, that they don't refund you the full amount. So they only give you, I think, 80 to 90% back.
And
that's what was credited to his credit card.
Well, that's all right. He has to be made whole. You're a big girl. How old are you?
36.
What?
36.
36. 36 years old. You make a decision. It doesn't work out. You have to take care of the consequences. These are slick guys. This is the way they make a living. They find people who are young, looking to start a new life, start a new business, not worked out in other fields, and they say, listen, you can make a lot of money. And some people make a lot of money. Ronald makes a good living, right? Damien, I don't know. Do you make a good living?
I'm working on it.
Well, how much did you earn last year?
With Just Relive?
Yes.
I'd have to look at my tax return.
Let's try to give me a round ballpark figure, Damien.
I'm going to say probably around $8,000.
8?
Mm-hmm.
You make a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
You've been there 12 years.
Yeah.
How long have you been in, Damien?
About 3 years.
Oh, when you're there 12 years, you're going to have that Mercedes you want.
I hope so.
What kind of car do you drive, Ronald?
I drive a BMW.
Now.
Can I say something?
Sure.
The business has a 1-year money-back guarantee. So at any point, she could have returned the product and got 90% of her money back. The business isn't designed for people to fail. If they don't want to do it, if they get a new job, that's okay. So if there was ever a discrepancy, she could have returned all the product and Damien would have got reimbursed. So.
But she didn't.
Right.
She's got to pay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sure.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $2,300. Thank you. That's all.
Mitchell Ergensen says pizza parlor owner Stephen Lindner owes for vandalism to his truck. Mitchell claims Stephen's employees doused it with salad dressing.
Mr. Urgenson, it is your claim that Mr. Lindner's employees vandalized your house and your car. And Mr. Lindner says he wasn't there. As far as he's concerned, there is no proof that his employees did anything to your house and your car. Who do you live with, sir?
Myself and my 2 daughters.
How old are your daughters?
17 and 19.
What kind of work do you do?
I'm an electrical contractor.
And you have a restaurant?
Yes.
Sometime in July, according to what I read, you ordered some food from Mr. Lindner's establishment. Have you ordered from him before?
Many a times.
What did you order?
Anapasta salad and a turkey sandwich.
And did they deliver it?
Yes.
Remember what date that was?
The 22nd is the date of this, yes.
No, the
The
date of
22nd.
the first order.
Well, what happened
for a
was
sandwich and a salad.
we ordered a couple times and asked for extra Italian dressing prior
When
to
did you?
that.
Well, I understand
Okay.
that, sir. I read the complaint. I read your complaint very carefully. Sometime before this incident, you had ordered a sandwich and a salad.
Which was 2
with
weeks
as-
before.
That's what I want to know.
Thank you.
2 weeks before this incident. And you had ordered a sandwich and a salad with extra dressing for the salad. What kind of extra dressing did you want?
Italian dressing. A couple extra cups.
And had you ordered that before?
Yeah.
And had they always accommodated you before?
Yes.
Who was the salad and the sandwich for?
Me and my daughter. Actually, my oldest daughter.
Who was eating the salad? Who was eating the sandwich? Or were you sharing?
Share it.
And your order came, and they didn't send the extra dressing.
They didn't send any dressing.
So you called back the restaurant. And what did you say to them?
I asked them, they didn't bring me any dressing. I talked to one of their guys in there. He said, we're very sorry. We'll be out in 10 minutes. And I said, please do, because I don't want to wait another 40 minutes like I had to wait for my order. I want the salad dressing right away. No problem, sir. We'll be right out there. Waited about 40 minutes, almost an hour. Nobody showed up at my door. I called and I said, can I talk to the manager? And he says, I am the manager. I said, well, I've been waiting for my dressing now an hour. They didn't bring me any. Well, I didn't know. He said, I didn't know anything about it. We have no drivers anymore. They all went home. And I got angry with him. And I said, well, I want a credit on my food then. And he said he wasn't going to give me full credit. And I said, I would like full credit for $12. I couldn't eat anything.
You couldn't eat the sandwich?
Not by that time, because we normally put the salad dressing on the sandwich, too. That's why we order extra for the salad and the sandwich. The girls like it. They like the extra vinegar and stuff. So we got mad. The manager hung up on me. I tried to call back. Nobody answered. Nobody answered. So I let it go. And about 2 weeks later, I ordered the same meal. And when the driver got there, I said, we have a credit, and I shut the door.
Very grown up of you.
Yeah.
You think that was right?
Come see, come saw.
What is come see, come saw?
Well, I had a credit.
Do you think,
I mean, the guy agreed he was
no,
going
no,
to
no,
pay me
no,
half
no,
the
no, no,
credit.
no. Listen to me, sir.
Okay.
You said you wanted a credit.
No, the manager also told me he was going to give me a credit on the salad, but not the sandwich.
That's right. That's what you just told me. He said,
Right.
well, we will certainly, sir, give you a credit on the salad, because if you run the kind of house where you don't have any dressing at all in your house for 3 adults, if you can't eat the salad, we're sorry about that, but we're not going to give you credit on the sandwich. You decided you wanted a credit on both. So when you took your food and slammed the door in the driver's face, which is what you just told me that you did, that was the wrong thing to do.
Okay.
There were a lot of other things that you could have done other than stiff the driver. Because
Well, it wasn't the driver. It was the pizza.
No, it's the driver. Because they're giving them the food, and when they come back and he says, listen, we went to somebody's house and they wouldn't give us any money, either one of two things happen. Either they say, well, we're taking it out of your money, or they call you. Did they call you?
No.
So you don't know whether the driver got stiffed with your $12 meal. Anyway, Mr. Ergensen, it was very immature of you. And what I'm surprised about is, evidently you are a single father raising 2 children. It would seem to me that you would have enough to occupy your plate other than engaging yourself in these petty little situations that cause nothing but problems for people. Are you telling me that your girls are so perfect that you have nothing else to worry about? Or maybe they're not so perfect that you got plenty to worry about, that you were taking it out on some stranger.
No, my girls are plenty perfect. They're very
They're
good
plenty
girls.
perfect. Well, then there's something wrong with you.
Okay.
All right. Now,
For a single father that runs a business for 20 years and raises 2 girls since they've been 2 and 4, I think I'm pretty good.
well, then I want to tell you something. If your girls are perfect and you run a nice business and you don't have enough to do with your time, I'd start volunteering a little bit more, because this business is ridiculous, petty baloney. So now what you're complaining about is that the next day,
No.
2 days later,
No.
that night,
That night, I had 4 guys come to my house and try to strong-arm me for $12 at my door and threaten to ask me to come outside so we can take care of outside.
okay.
And I
So
shut
you
the
had-
door in their face.
So this little escapade of yours, then 4 people came back to your house
To threaten me
and
for
wanted
this
the
place.
12, just a second, and said they wanted the $12. And
Yeah.
again, you slammed the door in their
No, I
face.
told them I have a credit. I said, where's the manager? The guy, this one over here, says, I am the manager. And I said, you're the manager from the place? Well, great. Do you remember this? He says, no. And the other guy that's not here today says, oh, you were the one that complained about the salad dressing. I said, so you know about it. You know what happened 2 weeks ago. He said, yes. And I said, okay, then you have a credit with me. If you have a problem, tell the owner to call me. We'll deal with it in court. If you want to sue me for 12, sue me for 12. So that's how it happened.
Volunteer.
They threatened me in my house.
Volunteer. It was a stupid thing to do. Should have written it off. You understand?
Yes.
You're dealing with somebody who's got a little too much time on his hands and a little bit too much aggression in his gut. First of all, Mr. Ergenson, when you order a salad with dressing and a sandwich, the sandwich is dressing. So what you're doing is saying, when I asked you, well, why couldn't you eat the sandwich? You said, we'd like to put the dressing on the sandwich. You're not entitled to that. You're not entitled to that.
But
The
that's-
sandwich comes along.
Yeah.
The dressing comes with a salad. You want dressing for your sandwich, go to the store and buy a bottle of dressing so you have dressing for the sandwich.
But it's not the same dressing. Their salad dressing has their own taste and their own life. It's like when you go to different restaurants. When you go into different restaurants, do you like different salad dressings that different restaurants serve you?
Mr. Ergenson, listen
That's
to me
what
very
happened.
carefully, sir.
Okay.
Then you don't say, send me extra dressing for the sandwich that I'm not entitled to. You say, I'm prepared to pay you extra to send me extra dressing because I like dressing on my
If they
sandwich.
said it cost extra, I would have been happy to pay for it.
Did you? Just a second.
Happy to pay for
You
it.
were getting something for nothing. You wanted something for nothing. You're
No,
not
I did
entitled
not.
to that.
No, I did not.
Mr. Ergenson, you're a big baby.
Okay.
That doesn't
Thank
mean
you.
you're a big baby.
Thank you.
That doesn't mean your people were entitled to vandalize his house. Now, Mr. Ergenson, I will take a look at the photographs of your house
And my car.
and your car.
And I have the cups that they used.
I don't care about the
All
cups
right,
that
and
they
I have a
used.
new cup too. It shows in the pictures. And I also have repairs that you might want to see.
Let me see the bills. Mr. Lindner, the way to respond to someone who is behaving in an immature way is not to stoop to their level. There isn't a question in my mind, after examining these photographs, that this vandalism to the plaintiff's house was done by someone in your employ or in the employ of the restaurant. No question. You get me?
Yes, ma'am.
Ah. Now, I don't know whether you went home. I don't know whether they said, listen, he deserves it. What he did was he was acting like a baby, acting like a big baby. But you don't take the law into your own hands and commit a crime.
Absolutely not.
You want to file a police report and say he stole food from me? That's your prerogative. He did. It would be no different from him coming into a restaurant, having a meal, and getting up and leaving, and saying, well, the last time I was here, I didn't have a good meal, and I wanted a credit, and they wouldn't give me a credit. So this time, I'm enjoying my meal, but I'm not paying for it. No different. What he did was he stole from you. And for that, oh, yes, you did, sir. There is no difference from what you did than if you walked into their restaurant or walked into a, I'm speaking. No difference than if you went into a restaurant, ate, didn't like the meal, they wouldn't give you a credit. And a week later, go back to the same restaurant, order the same meal, and get up and leave. And if the police came, they would have arrested you for theft of services, because that's what it is. They still had no right to vandalize your house. Do you understand? Yes. You don't resort to that sort of behavior because he acted like a jerk.
And came to my house and threatened me in my house.
No, ma'am.
And my daughter will attest to all that, too.
Listen, I don't want to get your daughter involved. It's bad enough she had
Well,
to
she
be
was
involved.
frightened
It's
every
bad enough
night.
she had to be involved with it
She was
because of
frightened
your
the whole night
stupidity.
from these guys doing this.
No, listen
Yeah,
to me.
she was.
Listen to me. She was up a whole night and frightened because her father acted like a jerk. That's why she was up all night, because her father acted like a big baby. Cost you $229.23. Is that right?
And lost wages of my work.
Well, that's too bad. Counted lost wages in acting like a jerk. They're not allowed to vandalize your property. Cost you $229. I hope it felt good. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
$229.23 less 12. $217.23. Judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Norma Villa says her sister, Alicia Vasquez, owes for car payments, car repairs, and money loans.
Miss Villa, the defendant is your sister.
That's correct.
And some time ago, she needed a car. You agreed to take out a loan in your name.
That is correct, Your Honor.
What kind of car did she buy?
It was a 99 volts Jetta.
How much was the loan?
For $11,809, I believe.
So that was very nice of your sister. When did she take out the loan for you?
In 2003 of June.
And you made the payments on the loan?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Until when?
Until March of 2005.
What happened in March of 2005?
I lost my job, and I was fighting an appeal for unemployment, and so I couldn't make the payments after in April and May.
That's what your lawsuit wants?
Yes.
April and May's car payment, as well as a substantial amount of money because you claimed that your sister abandoned the car and destroyed it.
Yes, ma'am.
Caused a lot of damage to the car. Cost you $2,000 to put the car back into shape. You are now driving the car and paying it off.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. You acknowledge that you didn't make April and May's car payment?
Yes, ma'am.
So you acknowledge that you owe that to your sister because somebody had to make it?
No, ma'am. What happened was I didn't have money to pay April and May, and she said that she would either try to help me or that if she couldn't help me in any way, then to go ahead and take the tires, because I kept telling her, what about my rims? And she said, if I can't help you, if you can't make the payment, then fork it. You know, I don't have money. And she said, I don't have money or anything, so go ahead and take the rims off.
Miss Vasquez, somebody paid April and May's car payment. It was not you.
Well, Your Honor, what happened was she didn't pay the April and May payment. Actually, she told me that the bank had reported the car stolen. So I lived with my
Somebody
mom.
has now made April and May's car payment if she's driving the car.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Who had the car in April?
I had the car in April.
Who had the car in May?
I did, ma'am. But
Just
I also...
a second. Listen to me. If you had the car in April and drove it, and you had the car in May and drove it, why should anybody else make the car payment for you? That was not your agreement with your sister.
Right, ma'am, but see, what happened was we were waiting for an appeal to go through for my unemployment so I could pay those
I don't give a rat's
payments.
behind about your appeal for unemployment. I asked you a very simple question. The very simple question was, if you drove the car in April and you drove the car in May, who should pay for the car?
Well, I should have paid for the car.
That's the answer. You drove it. You pay for it.
Well, now she's driving the car, so...
She's not asking you for anything else.
But I put a down payment on the vehicle, which was $800.
In 2003?
Yes, ma'am. But I already paid $6,000 on the vehicle.
How much a month did you pay for the car?
I paid $328 a month.
And how much do you think it would cost you to rent a car?
I have no idea, ma'am.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a homemaker now, ma'am.
Who supports you?
Unemployment.
How many children do you support?
I support 2.
Do they live with you?
One of them does.
Where does the other one live?
With his dad.
And who else lives in your home?
My husband.
And what does he do for a living?
He's unemployed.
Why?
Because it's been hard for him to find a job because he doesn't have documents.
Well, so you always ask one question too many. Do you have documents?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Then you have to work.
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. And take care of your baby.
That's what he did.
Good. But you both can't stay home?
Right. Now, well, I just
then
finished my
stick
appeal.
your sister with your car payment, because if you're both not working, you don't even need a car. If you're sitting around doing nothing, then you don't need a car.
But we had made an agreement, because I had told her, we had made an agreement, me and her had made an agreement to where, because she knew that I couldn't make the payments, and she had agreed that she would wait for me to go to court and then go ahead and just pay the car payment even if it was late. We had made the agreement, me and her. That's incorrect, Your Honor. Does not make any sense.
What do you do for a living, Miss Villa?
I'm a team manager for a well-known company.
And you have children?
I have 4.
You support them?
I do.
Do they live with you?
They do.
Anybody else live in your house other than your 4 children?
My husband.
Does he work?
Yes, he does.
What kind of work does he do?
He's a manager for a contracting company.
Makes a good living?
Yes, he does.
You own a home?
I own 2, ma'am.
Have mortgages?
Yes.
Have cars?
Yes.
Have car payments?
Yes.
See what I mean? That, Miss Vasquez, is the American dream.
Well, that's my
Do you
American dream
understand?
someday.
Do you understand? You can't stay home in your house,
Right,
hoping the American dream will find you.
right.
And you can't encumber anybody else with your problems.
I understand, ma'am, but I was fighting an appeal at the time, and that's
You
why...
already told me that 3 times. You don't visit that on your sister. Now, how much was each car payment?
They're $328 plus the late delinquency.
And what was the late fee?
I have a breakdown if you need that.
Yeah.
And then I have photos. I don't sure if you need them, but they're the damages.
I want to see the damage that you allege to the car.
And the house that you see there in that photo is my defendant's witness's mom's house. So what a coincidence for that one.
You told us to leave the car there.
No. Be truthful. You just got
No.
sworn in.
Shh. Did you take the wheels off this car?
They're my tires. She told me that it was okay to do that,
The car was
ma'am.
not given to her
She
like
told
that.
me days before that there was insurance on the vehicle before she was mad and angry and did all this. And she told me I had told her, well, Norma, I haven't went to court yet for my unemployment to
truthful.
pay.
No.
I'm being honest.
Listen, I want you to let her speak. Do you understand? Okay. And I don't want you to interrupt her again.
Okay.
Keep
and
going.
she told me that I told her to ask the bank if she can tell the bank that the money was, lost in the mail.
So you asked her
Yes.
to lie to the bank.
I asked her. Yes, ma'am.
That the check was in the mail.
Yes.
When it really wasn't in the mail.
Right.
So you lied. Mm-hmm. And you wanted her to lie.
And she did.
Just a second. And according to you, she lied for you.
Mm-hmm. She said that she was going to tell the bank that that it was lost in the mail, and by that time I should have my money to go, so I could go ahead and pay the payments with the late fee.
Okay. So you asked her to lie for you, and she did lie for you.
Right.
And then when it came time for you to send the money, you still didn't send it.
No, what happened was days after that, she said that the bank had reported the car stolen. And she called my mom. She wouldn't talk to me no more. She called my mom, and she told my mom the car was reported stolen. I'd be taken out by gunpoint and to leave the car. So I lived with my mom. She could have went and picked up. She didn't have to do all this. She could have went and picked the car up at my mom's house. The car was never moved again until that she told my sister-in-law on the phone to leave it somewhere where the police could find it, which I don't understand. And she had told me way before all this happened to take the rims off if she couldn't make the payment. That's the honest truth, Your Honor. That now for the inside is not damaged. What happened is I've had that car for 2 years. I do have a daughter, and the inside of the vehicle, of course, is going to get dirty, but it's not demolished.
Just because you have a daughter doesn't mean that a car has to look like this.
Well, it's the interior, ma'am. It's the interior. When my daughter, sometimes she got car sick, she'd throw up, and we would clean it with, when you clean the car, it stains.
Well, then let me ask you a question. Who's supposed to take care of that now that you no longer have the car?
Well, I was...
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's supposed to take care of it? The bank?
I am.
Right! There you go! Now, my next question to you. This, nothing is my responsibility. When you put new rims on the car, what did you do with the old ones?
The old rims stayed at the dealer where I got the tires at.
Well, that's your problem. Because if you put something new on the car that you wanted to take back, then it was your responsibility to put back the original ones.
But my sister told me to do that. She told
I
me
don't
to take
believe you. She's a responsible, reliable person who has a job, and she has a husband who is employed, and she supports a household with 4 children, and she has 2 homes and 2 mortgages and car payments of her own, and she doesn't seem to be making excuses that not anything is my fault.
I'm not saying nothing's my
Pay careful
fault.
attention.
Yes, ma'am.
If you take out a radio and you put in a more expensive one, and then you have to send back the car to the company because you can't afford it, you don't leave it with no radio. You put back the original one. You don't leave it like this.
She told me to leave it like that,
I don't believe you.
She told me to leave the car on brakes and to take my rims off of it. Honest to truth. Tell
Makes
her.
sense.
Tell the truth.
Makes sense.
Tell the truth, sis.
No,
Makes sense.
just don't speak to each other. I don't believe that she said it to you. Even if she did say it to you, then, if you're a grown-up, you say, look, I've had this car for 2 years. If I can't get the wheels that were originally on the car, I'm just going to have to take the loss and leave the ones that are on the car because somebody is going to be penalized for this. It's not going to be you because your name isn't anywhere on the paperwork. It's got to be the person whose name is on the paperwork. That's her.
That's probably why she told me that there was insurance on the car and to do that.
Listen, I want you to get a copy of my book. It's a book that I wrote a long time ago. Beauty fades, dumb is forever. I'm trying to educate you.
Yes, ma'am.
You won't let it happen. When you do things in life, you're supposed to accept responsibility.
I accept the responsibility that I took the tires because they were
No,
mine. I
you
was
accept
told that-
responsibility that you took the tires, but you don't want to pay for it. That's the responsibility. You said, of course I took them.
Well, I did a down payment on the car. I put $800 in the car. She's driving the car. She's saying that it was demolished, that it didn't work. I mean,
Madam,
that doesn't make any
Madam,
sense.
listen to me.
That should cover my $800.
When you buy a car, any car, new or used, as soon as you drive the car out of a showroom, it depreciates. Do you understand that? That requires a simple yes or no.
Yes, ma'am.
So when you put $800 down on the car and you drove the car out of the showroom, you lost your $800. Do I make myself clear?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that back. Your car didn't appreciate in value because your daughter vomited on the back seat. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, now let's get to this $315 rent check.
She was in the process of getting evicted, and she needed money. She couldn't get any money
This
from
is in
anywhere.
April. This is when she stopped paying for the car as well, in April.
Correct.
Well, tell me about it.
I didn't want her to lose a roof over her head. And
Tell me about the conversation. Where did it take place?
She called me and asked me over the phone at work and asked me if I can please lend her the money. Her husband's going to get work or she's going to get unemployment or whatever the case is. Can I please lend her $315 so that she can pay the eviction so that they won't evict her?
Okay,
But
she acknowledges that you gave her that money. When did you pay her back?
In June when I got, I had to get on cash aid.
You went on welfare?
Yes, because I had to move, Your Honor, to Santa Rosa.
Welfare gave you a lump sum check?
No, they gave me like a cash aid.
For how much?
It was like $380 something.
And you took that whole $300 and gave it to your sister?
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you do for money?
I had to go stay with my mom temporarily, so the $80 that I had, that's in the food stamps that they had gave me.
Did she give you back the $300?
She didn't, Your Honor.
Of course not. It doesn't make sense that you got $380 from welfare, and after this major to-do that you had with your sister where you were annoyed with her about the car, and she said she may help you out with the payments, and you turned the car over to your sister, who was then very angry with you because the car was destroyed in the interior and didn't have any wheels at all and was up on blocks, that you paid her back the $300 that you owed her, saving only $80 for yourself. It
That was way
doesn't
before
make
that, though.
sense. You owe your sister $1,500. That's what you owe her reasonably to put the car back into condition and for this loan that you did not pay back. And I suggest that you and or your husband find some way of earning a living. You made a baby, you gotta get a job. That's all.
Ladies and gentlemen, life is filled with challenges. Every single one of us, no matter where we come from, faces obstacles, setbacks, and difficulties. But what truly separates successful people from unsuccessful ones is not the number of problems they encounter, it's how they respond to those problems. Too often, people spend their time and energy worrying, complaining, or overanalyzing their difficulties. They get stuck in the loop of why me instead of asking what's next. That's the difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck. Today, I want to remind you of a powerful principle. Focus on solutions, not problems. Because problems drain energy, but solutions create progress. Problems highlight obstacles, but solutions build opportunities. No matter who you are, no matter where you live, and no matter how much success or wealth you may achieve, one universal truth remains: problems will always be a part of life. They come in different shapes and sizes: financial struggles, health challenges, career setbacks, relationship issues, or even unexpected events that you never saw coming. Life does not discriminate when it comes to challenges. From the poorest to the richest, from the weakest to the strongest, every human being has to face storms. But here's the difference. Some people see problems as roadblocks that stop them, while others see them as speed bumps that they must slow down for, learn from, and then move past. The presence of problems is not what defines your future. It is your response that does. Think about it. When a problem appears, you have two choices. One, you can focus all your energy on the negative side, complain, worry, and let fear paralyze you. Or two, you can shift your focus and ask, what solution can I create here? What step can I take to move forward? The first option drains your energy and traps you in a cycle of frustration. The second option empowers you, gives you control, and pushes you toward progress. Imagine a student failing an exam. If they focus on the problem, they might say, "I'm not smart enough. This subject is too hard. Maybe I'll never succeed." That mindset leaves them stuck in self-doubt. But if the same student focuses on the solution, they will ask themselves, "What can I do differently next time? Should I study smarter, find a tutor, or change my study schedule?" The problem remains the same, a failed exam, but the choice to look for a solution changes everything. This is why we say problems are inevitable, but solutions are optional. You don't get to choose whether or not you will face problems in life, but you absolutely get to choose whether or not you will respond with solutions. History is full of examples of people who turned their problems into breakthroughs simply because they refused to stay problem-focused. Thomas Edison, after failing thousands of times to create the light bulb, could have said, "This is impossible." But instead, he focused on the solution and famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10 zeros, zero ways that won't work." That is the spirit of a solution-focused mindset, understanding that the problem is not the end, but the beginning of discovery. In fact, the greatest inventions, the biggest businesses, and the most inspiring success stories were all born out of problems. Airplanes were built because people wanted to solve the problem of slow travel. Medicines were discovered because humanity faced the problem of diseases. Even technology like the internet was created because people needed faster communication. Every major advancement you see in this world today is proof that while problems are guaranteed, solutions are always a choice. So when problems come your way, don't be shocked. Don't waste your time asking, "Why me?" Instead, remind yourself, problems are simply part of the journey of life. What matters most is whether you choose to stay stuck in the problem or rise above it by seeking the solution. One of the biggest traps people fall into when they face challenges is the habit of complaining. Complaining may feel natural. It's easy to vent, to express frustration, to talk about how unfair life is. But here's the truth: complaining does not solve anything. In fact, it makes the problem look bigger than it actually is, because the more you talk about a problem without taking action, the more you feed it with your energy. Complaining is like watering weeds. The more attention you give them, the faster they grow, and soon they start choking the good plants in your garden. In the same way, when you complain, you give life to your problems, you strengthen them, and you let them dominate your thoughts. The result? You feel stuck, hopeless, and powerless. Now, let's contrast that with action. Action is the antidote to complaining. The moment you take even a small step toward a solution, the size of the problem begins to shrink in your eyes. Action does not mean you will immediately fix everything overnight, but action sends a powerful signal to your mind. I am not helpless. I am in control. I can make progress. That shift in energy changes everything. Think of someone who loses their job. If they choose to complain, they might spend weeks saying things like, "The economy is bad. Companies are unfair. Nothing ever works out for me." Each complaint makes the problem heavier on their shoulders. But if they choose action, they may update their resume, apply for new positions, learn a new skill, or even explore starting their own business. The problem hasn't disappeared overnight, but by acting, they've already started building a bridge toward the solution. Successful people understand this truth. Time spent complaining could be time spent creating solutions. Every minute you waste talking about how bad things are is a minute you could use to make things better. History again gives us countless lessons here. When great leaders and innovators faced challenges, they didn't waste time complaining. They acted. Nelson Mandela could have complained during his 27 years in prison about injustice, unfairness, and suffering. But instead, he prepared himself, strengthened his mind, and when the time came, he led his nation into freedom. Action made him a symbol of hope, while complaining would have made him just another victim of circumstances. And here's another powerful point. Complaining pushes people away, but action inspires them. Nobody is drawn to someone who constantly complains, but everyone admires and respects someone who takes initiative. Leaders, achievers, and problem solvers earn influence not by whining about problems, but by showing the courage to act in spite of them. So, the next time you feel tempted to complain, pause and ask yourself, will this complaint change anything, or should I put my energy into action? Because in the end, your life won't improve by pointing out problems. It will only improve when you take bold steps to solve them. The human mind is a powerful tool, but it has one weakness. It always tries to find answers to the questions you feed it. The quality of your thoughts is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. If you keep asking negative questions, your brain will produce negative answers. But if you train yourself to ask empowering questions, your brain will unlock empowering solutions. Let's consider this. When faced with a challenge, many people immediately ask, why is this happening to me? Why is life so unfair? While those questions may feel natural in the moment, they don't lead to solutions. Instead, they direct your focus towards self, pity, and frustration. The brain will respond with answers like, because you're unlucky, because nothing ever works out for you, because you don't have what it takes. Notice what happened. The problem hasn't changed, but your perspective just got darker. Now imagine the same person facing the same challenge, but instead of asking, why me? They ask, what can I do about this? What's the first step I can take to fix it? What lesson can I learn from this experience? Suddenly, the brain starts to search for answers in a completely different direction. It may suggest you can try a new approach. You can seek advice from someone who's been here before. You can grow stronger from this setback. Do you see the difference? The problem is the same, but the mindset is transformed because of the questions being asked. Great problem solvers are not necessarily people with more resources. They are people who ask better questions. When Thomas Edison failed thousands of times while working on the light bulb, he didn't ask, why can't I do this? Instead, he asked, what can I try differently? What method haven't I considered yet? That shift in questioning kept his mind creative and focused until he found the solution. The same applies to everyday life. If you're struggling financially, instead of asking, why don't I have money? Ask, what skills can I develop to increase my income? If your relationships are difficult, instead of asking, why is this person so hard to deal with? Ask, how can I communicate differently to improve this relationship? If you feel stuck in your career, don't ask, why can't I get promoted? Ask, what extra value can I bring to earn my promotion? When you train your mind to ask solution-oriented questions, something magical happens. Your focus shifts from problems to possibilities, and remember this principle: the brain is like a search engine. It will give you answers to whatever you type into it. If you type in negative questions, you'll get negative results. If you type in empowering questions, you'll get empowering results. This practice requires discipline. At first, your mind will default to unhelpful questions because that's what most people are conditioned to do. But with practice, you can reprogram yourself. Every time a challenge comes, pause and say, okay, instead of complaining, let me ask, what can I do? Who can help me? What's the opportunity here? Over time, this habit will turn you into a natural problem solver. In fact, many leaders, entrepreneurs, and achievers say that their success is built not on having fewer problems than others, but on asking better questions than others. Their minds are trained to seek solutions instead of magnifying difficulties. That is why they rise above challenges while others remain stuck in them. At first glance, a problem feels like an enemy, something that blocks your way, slows your progress, and steals your peace. But if you look deeper, you will realize that every problem carries within it a hidden gift, an opportunity. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck lies in whether they can spot that opportunity or not. Think about it. Most breakthroughs in history did not happen because life was easy. They happened because there was a challenge that demanded a solution. The Wright brothers saw the problem of slow travel and transformed it into the opportunity to create the first successful airplane. Alexander Fleming saw the problem of deadly infections and discovered penicillin, which has saved millions of lives. Every great invention, every major discovery, every business success story started with someone staring at a problem and deciding, this isn't just an obstacle, it's an opportunity to create something new. In your own life, problems may come disguised as difficulties, failures, or setbacks. Losing a job may feel like a problem, but it could also be an opportunity to start a new career, build a business, or develop a skill you never had time for. A broken relationship may hurt deeply, but it could be the opportunity to rediscover yourself, grow stronger emotionally, and prepare for a healthier, more fulfilling relationship in the future. Even small daily challenges like being stuck in traffic can carry hidden opportunities. You might use that time to listen to educational podcasts, reflect on your goals, or simply practice patience. Here's the truth: problems force you to grow. If life were free of challenges, you would never stretch beyond your comfort zone. Muscles grow only when they face resistance. Trees grow stronger when they endure storms. In the same way, your character, resilience, and creativity grow when you encounter problems. What you first see as a setback may actually be life's way of preparing you for something bigger. But to see the opportunity, you must adjust your perspective. A problem-focused mind asks, why is this happening to me? But a solution-focused mind asks, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to my advantage? With that shift in thinking, problems stop looking like barriers and start looking like stepping stones. Consider this. When companies face customer complaints, many see them as headaches. But smart companies see complaints as opportunities to improve their product, build trust, and gain loyal customers. When athletes lose a game, some see it as failure, but champions see it as an opportunity to analyze mistakes, improve their strategy, and come back stronger. The same principle applies to you. Your problems can either defeat you or develop you, depending on how you choose to look at them. So, the next time you face a challenge, ask yourself, what's the hidden opportunity here? What can this problem teach me, open for me, or push me toward? Because the reality is, the problem is not the end, it's often the beginning of something greater. One of the greatest truths about life is that whatever you focus on grows. Your mind is like a magnifying glass. Whatever you direct it toward becomes larger, clearer, and more powerful. If you focus on problems, they will seem overwhelming and impossible. But if you focus on solutions, those solutions begin to expand, multiply, and eventually create unstoppable momentum. Think of focus as the steering wheel of your life. If you keep your focus locked on the obstacles in front of you, you'll crash into them. But if you shift your focus toward the path forward, you will naturally begin to move in that direction. Energy flows where attention goes. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape but only focuses on how hard it will be. I'm too out of shape. The gym is tiring. I'll never keep up. That focus creates excuses and keeps them stuck. But another person in the same situation chooses to focus on the small wins. I'll walk 10 minutes today, tomorrow maybe 15. Eventually, I'll build strength. That focus builds momentum. With each small step, progress becomes visible, and soon the person who once doubted themselves starts gaining confidence, energy, and results. Momentum is powerful because it multiplies effort. Think about pushing a heavy car. At first, it takes enormous energy to get it moving, but once it starts rolling, it becomes easier and easier to push. The same principle applies to life. The first steps towards solutions may feel difficult, but once you focus consistently and make small progress, momentum kicks in, and suddenly, what once felt impossible starts to feel unstoppable. This is why focus is so important. What you repeatedly give your attention to shapes your destiny. Athletes who focus on victory, despite setbacks, develop the resilience to keep training until they win. Entrepreneurs who focus on innovation rather than the failures of the past eventually create breakthrough products and services. Students who focus on learning instead of fearing failure end up mastering skills and opening doors of opportunity. But here's the catch: focus works both ways. Just as focusing on solutions creates momentum, focusing on problems creates stagnation. If you constantly think about what's wrong, you'll attract more stress, more doubt, and more excuses. It's like quicks, and the more you struggle in the wrong focus, the deeper you sink. On the other hand, focusing on solutions creates a snowball effect. One solution leads to another. One small action sparks a bigger action. One moment of clarity inspires more creativity. Soon, momentum takes over, and the solutions start to multiply faster than the problems. This is why successful people guard their focus carefully. They don't waste time obsessing over setbacks or failures. Instead, they fix their eyes on what they can do, what they can control, and what progress they can make. By doing so, they build momentum that carries them through challenges. So remember this principle: problems feed on attention, but solutions feed on focus. Wherever you place your focus will determine whether you stay stuck or move forward with unstoppable momentum. When a problem strikes, the natural reaction for most people is stress, panic, or frustration. But here's the irony: the very emotions we often feel in difficult moments are the same emotions that block our ability to find solutions. Stress narrows your vision, panic clouds your judgment, anger blinds your perspective. In those states, the mind becomes reactive instead of creative, and instead of solving the problem, you often make it worse. That is why calmness is not weakness, it is a superpower. A calm mind is a clear mind, and a clear mind is a creative mind. When you breathe, pause, and steady yourself in the face of challenges, you unlock the ability to think in new ways, explore fresh possibilities, and discover answers that stress would have hidden from you. Think of it like muddy water. When you stir it, it becomes cloudy, and you can't see anything inside. But if you let it sit still, the dirt settles and the water becomes clear again. Your mind works the same way. When you're restless and stressed, everything looks confusing. But when you calm yourself, clarity appears and solutions begin to surface. History gives us many examples of people who discovered solutions not by panicking, but by staying calm and creative. During World War II, when supplies were low, many nations had to innovate with limited resources. Calm, strategic leaders found creative ways to stretch resources, build new technologies, and outthink their opponents. In science, Albert Einstein often said that his greatest breakthroughs came not when he was forcing himself to think harder, but when he was relaxed, walking, playing the violin, or letting his mind wander freely. Creativity often flows in moments of calm, not chaos. Even in everyday life, this principle holds true. If your car breaks down on the road and you start panicking, your mind will race with negative thoughts. This is a disaster. I'm stuck. Nothing ever goes right for me. In that state, you won't see the options in front of you. But if you stay calm, you'll notice practical steps. Call for help, check the issue, or find a temporary fix. Calmness doesn't erase the problem, but it helps you see it from a higher perspective, where solutions become visible. And here's something important. Creativity thrives when you look at problems from different angles. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening?" a calm and creative mind asks, "What are 3 different ways I could approach this? What haven't I tried yet? What would someone else do in this situation?" By shifting your perspective, you unlock solutions that weren't obvious at first glance. This is why leaders, entrepreneurs, and innovators often emphasize the importance of keeping calm under pressure. They know that panic leads to poor decisions, but calmness leads to innovative ones. The ability to stay steady while everyone else is losing their head is what makes a true problem solver stand out. So remember, solutions are not found in chaos. They are born in clarity, and clarity comes from calmness. If you want to unlock your creative power and find solutions where others see only problems, you must learn to steady your emotions, quiet your mind, and allow new ideas to rise to the surface. One of the easiest things to do in life is to point out what's wrong. Anyone can see problems. Anyone can say, "This is broken, this is unfair, this won't work." But here's the truth: simply reporting problems doesn't change anything. Real value comes from being the person who brings solutions. In every workplace, every community, and even within families, there are 2 kinds of people: problem reporters and problem solvers. Problem reporters are quick to highlight what's wrong, but stop there. They magnify issues without taking responsibility. Problem solvers, on the other hand, recognize the issue, but they go further. They think, act, and contribute toward making things better. Which one do you think earns more respect, trust, and influence? Leaders are not remembered for pointing out obstacles. They are remembered for overcoming them. If you study the greatest achievers in history, you'll notice a pattern. They didn't just say, "Here's the problem." They said, "Here's the problem, and here's what we can do about it." That mindset transforms challenges into progress. Let's take an example. In a company meeting, one person might say, "Sales are dropping. This is terrible." That's problem reporting. Another person might say, "Sales are dropping, but I have 3 ideas we could try to improve them." That's problem solving. The first person adds weight to the problem. The second person adds value to the team. Over time, who do you think will be seen as more capable, reliable, and worthy of leadership? Even in personal life, this principle applies. If your family faces a challenge, anyone can say, "We don't have enough money," or "This situation is bad." But the person who says, "Here's how we can save more, here's a side income we could try, here's a way we can cut expenses," becomes the problem solver, the one who lifts the family forward. Being a problem solver doesn't mean you'll always have the perfect answer. Sometimes your ideas won't work right away, but simply being the kind of person who looks for solutions creates hope, inspires others, and builds momentum. People naturally trust and follow those who take initiative instead of those who only complain. In fact, this is how leaders are born, not by waiting for someone else to fix things, but by stepping up and saying, "I'll do something about it." The world is already full of complainers. What it needs are creators, innovators, and leaders, people who will rise above problems and work towards solutions. So whether in your career, relationships, or personal growth, make it your mission to shift from problem reporting to problem solving. Don't just echo what's wrong, be the person who lights the path toward making it right. My friends, life will always present us with problems, big ones, small ones, expected and unexpected. But remember this, problems are not the real enemy. The real danger is staying stuck in them. The key to progress, success, and growth is shifting your focus from problems to solutions. When you choose solutions, you stop being a victim of circumstances and become a creator of change. You stop magnifying the weight of the obstacle and start building the path forward. You stop complaining and start acting. And as you train your mind to ask better questions, as you see every problem as an opportunity, as you protect your focus, stay calm, and commit to being a problem solver, you will not only transform your own life, but also inspire the people around you. So from this day on, don't waste your time staring at the wall. Look for the door. Don't waste your voice complaining about what's broken. Use your mind and your energy to build what's better. Because the world doesn't remember those who pointed at problems. It remembers those who created solutions.